against TCU and has a tremendous amount of respect for their head coach, Deion Sanders.
He's won in everything he's done in football. He's won as a player. He's won as a coach. I think everyone maybe thinks like outside, not me. Everyone else thinks like, well, this is all a show, and that he's the most serious person about football. Like his poster was on people's walls for a reason as a player, because he's one of the hardest practicing, hardest playing people that's ever played the game, right? So why would we think that his team wouldn't be the same?
For The Zone, I'm Matt McMaster.
The Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Attention all you Husker football fans. This season, get ready to cheer on your Huskers like never before. Tickets for Less is offering an exclusive deal that'll have you jumping out of your seat. Use the promo code THEZONE and save big on Husker tickets for every game, home and away. From the electrifying home opener to intense conference matchups, Tickets for Less has you covered. Don't miss a single moment of the gridiron action. Visit ticketsforless.com today. Use promo code THEZONE and secure your seat to witness the Huskers live on the field this season. Hurry, this offer won't last forever.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Crossover.
Kyrie Irving crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul. Crossover continues to evolve.
All right, time for the crossover, brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha. You want your concrete repaired? You go to everlevelconcrete.com.
Everlevel.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Are you ready for this?
I'm so jacked. This is going to be the best.
Do you
week.
believe?
Do you believe now? Do you believe?
Did you guys watch the whole 15 minutes of that press conference? So 12 of the 15 is Dion asking questions.
Yeah, he's just antagonizing everybody.
So I have no problem with that. Okay, he can do his victory lap.
Sure.
But whoa. Why? How can he do his victory lap?
He can do his victory lap.
They won.
Yeah, they won one football.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a lot of people didn't think they'd win that game.
You understand the prime piper. Okay, that's his thing. But do you also get, if they lose, will he sit there and take questions?
No.
And that is
okay. Then there's where I have problem with the thing on Saturday.
Yeah,
he can't take it. He can't. He can dish it out. He can dish it out.
He is a guy throughout his entire career. He's won. You cannot deny the man that he has been at the height of wherever he has been. But what happens if Saturday, if things go south and Nebraska goes in there and goes? I mean, what's that?
They fart on him,
and that's honestly, guys,
it came across as a fart, but it wasn't.
It was
crap on him.
It was a fart. Yeah, that was the thing. I think more than anything about Dion this year that I was most interested in seeing is when the wheels really come off. And even if they would have lost on Saturday, I think just because there was a lot of people that kind of expected that to happen, I don't think it really even would have come out in that game. But like mid-season, say they're like 2-3 or 4, and they just have a dumpster fire of a performance, and the questions become a little more critical. How's Dion responding to that? To me, that was going to be a very interesting thing this season.
They're very good. That program will be very good at doing those things when everything is going right.
Right. Front running.
Yes. What will happen and when will it hit the fan?
Right.
It will at some point. It will at some point.
It will. It will. The thing that I noticed watching the game on Saturday is, again, this is not new. We had a lot of revisionist history on Saturday. Like things you expected, whether it be the attention or who Dion is. I mean, if you were like, oh my God, I can't believe that pregame speech that's who he is. That's always been. So we have a lot of revisionists. Oh, hey, that's Dion. No, Dion has always been Dion, and he will continue to be Dion. But the part of that they have gone even further is the amount of people that were on the sidelines that all their role was to film. Like whether it be for his Amazon show.
Yeah.
Like it looked like they had an assistant coach that the entire game was holding a phone following Dion.
There was, yeah. There was.
I'm like, wow,
during the post game.
This is like a reality show that actually won a college football game. This is incredible.
Well, the guy in the suit during the post game, there's just a guy behind him in a suit.
Yeah, he's got like a whole posse.
Yeah,
he's got the whole thing. Yeah, well,
he leaned into the brand of wearing a hoodie on an 86-degree day. In
what
TCU.
was that?
Yeah. That's his thing because
it was white.
Well,
though.
no. You know why? So that thing is sold out.
Oh yeah.
So all the merch
those whites were clean.
That sold out.
Yeah. Well, as we know, people
I
want to
did like the
wear
white
what
helmet.
Coach Prime wants to wear.
I like the white helmet, by the way. I thought it was
Oh no,
pretty cool looking.
they're slick. I've always
They
liked
look good.
Colorado's stuff.
Yeah.
I've always liked Colorado.
See,
stuff.
Colorado
the
messed
white
around.
mat, that
You know,
looked good.
Colorado messed around, and they would wear the black pants. Like I always liked the gold pants
Yeah, I did too.
that they wore, but then they would wear white on white. I mean, they went through so many different combinations.
They have
What they were wearing on Saturday was a nice look.
I thought so too.
Oh, they're sharp. Yeah, no. For
So
sure.
will they make a big announcement on what they're going to wear on Saturday? And will Nebraska be wearing white on red or white on white?
I think white on red.
I believe
They have gone into Boulder wearing white on white before.
Oh, yeah, they have.
Well, Colorado have jerseys say Prime Boys with a Z at the end. Maybe that will happen.
I think
too.
they'll keep it pretty standard.
Will they?
I think Nebraska will keep it pretty standard.
Is Colorado going all black? Are they going black and gold? Are they going traditional?
Man, I love their traditional look. I
do too.
really,
Especially the home
do.
one.
I love their regular old with their gold hats, gold helmet.
It does seem like though when they wear all black against Nebraska, things don't go well for Nebraska.
Yeah,
that is true.
That is that we remember a
2001.
specific game where that was the case.
There was a
Yes.
guy named Bobby Purify and Chris Brown.
Chris Brown. Is there going to be some conversation about Chris Brown this week? Are we going to even do the historical aspect of this game anymore?
We kind of
Like
did.
us? Oh, I went through like a
Yeah.
litany. Are you talking about Gus Johnson?
I'm talking about anybody. Like, this is absolutely not the conversation this week. And I didn't expect it to be. I mean, Colorado, Nebraska is, I guess, a thing of the past. But
Oh, it's a new generation of urine bombs.
yeah, I mean, normally on our shows, you know, we would offer some historical context, and that's obviously not what it's going to be about this week.
I mean, we can make it that
No,
way.
but you know what?
It's
That's
fun to
part
do.
of like college football.
It's fun,
Is
but
that
it's not
there's
the story.
history?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the story. No, because they haven't played. You know, they haven't played since 19, and they went a while after the Big 12. But like for us around here, it's kind of fun to reminisce. We have to include the bad.
Of course.
You know, 90 stung. 2001, something happened.
Yep.
Something happened, and good take. Good take.
Poll
That's a
question:
good-
Did something happen in
Yeah.
2001?
Oh no, not that one.
No.
Don't word it like that. Don't word it like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, because it is September.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Good catch.
Yep.
Nice job.
Don't word it
Hey,
like that.
Hey, Scott Barlow, good job. Save out of the bullpen.
Not so much. Yeah, just trying to do
Context
my job.
is everything on this one. Yeah. Oh boy.
I love it. I'm so excited for this week. This is going to be so great, and we are all obviously on. I mean, we are on the ledge. You know,
This is fantastic.
this is as good as it gets. And I'm not backing people off their ledge either. I'm just going to say what I said. Like, I'm not going to do the thing that it was last week where it's like, guys, you need to calm. Like, you need to calm down because it was one game. But I'm doubling down. I'm going in. Like,
Well, we would.
So
we
wait a minute,
said-
you're pushing people off the ledge, or you're like
I'm
taking
gonna-
away the ledge?
You go wherever you want.
Oh.
I'm saying if you're on the step of that ledge, you go wherever that's going to take you. And we're just going to push through.
Well, Saturday night, Nebraska's back or it's all over.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
Like one or the other is happening.
Can Nebraska be back after beating Colorado?
Oh yeah.
I would
Handing Dion that first L.
JD wonders, will the Tiny Baby Buffs account be active this week? Good question.
I don't know. They don't have tweet decks, so they don't know how to use it anymore.
That's true. It's true.
How many followers do you guys have?
I don't know, probably like 80 or something.
I did see the tweet on Saturday saying, what was it? Deleting all responses right now or something like that.
Oh, 369.
Hey, I follow you.
Nice.
It's a good follow.
I'm glad that
Tiny
Dion
Baby
has all
Buffs.
of his receipts. Where do you think he keeps them?
Does he have a
Does
Tiny
he
Baby
have a-
Buff receipt?
Does he have a big wallet?
I don't know, but after that
He's got a
comment,
George Costanza wallet.
so after that comment, because I don't know if you guys noticed this during the game on Saturday, he has quite a few commercials.
Oh,
Do
a
you
little bit.
think that on this Saturday he will have a commercial for CBS, and it will be nothing but that long CBS receipt that you get?
That is the
This
coupons on the back.
is my giant receipt.
Yeah,
that
giant
would be
receipt.
funny.
It's just a huge scroll.
And then you'd be like, "When did you shoot that?"
And does it gaze at some of them to where you could actually identify Tiny Baby Buffs on that receipt?
Maybe you look
That's
a
when
little
you know.
closer.
That's when you know you've arrived.
Maybe you look
if you
a
get the
little-
Tiny Baby Buffs receipt.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think he probably knows about Tiny Baby Buffs, but he does. He does know about the idea that many people have called his team small. I don't think he cares that much about that.
No. As long as they're catching balls and going over 500 yards.
Just
yeah, fine.
this is great. This is going to be.
But
so
didn't
great.
we? Which I was asking Gary this earlier on Thursday. I thought it was either Gary or John. We brought up like the best case scenario going into this weekend.
Yes.
And there was that scenario of Nebraska loses, Colorado wins. And that place is just unbelievably charged up. And the hopes are just through the roof on Colorado season. The Nebraska's coming off of just sort of drudging their way in off of a loss. And then all of a sudden they go in and they beat Colorado. What that would be.
I mean, obviously the dream scenario was if Nebraska won.
If they were both 1-0.
And
They're
Colorado
both 1-0
won.
was the first one. But isn't this like the second best?
Yes.
Better than both teams being 0-1.
This is absolutely preferable to them losing their first game.
Right.
Yes.
Because now the I told you so crowd is they're letting you hear it. And good for they can have that. They had Saturday. That's fine. They can have that.
Oh man, they got it all. I mean, turn on the TV.
And if they win Saturday, they'll just continue to say, "I told you so."
If they beat Nebraska, there'll be you can't deny what's. They have the semblance of an organized, disciplined, good staff football team. You can't play that role anymore.
That was sort of the thing that I was most impressed by. Like they have a really good They seem to have a really good understanding of who they are. Pretty much right away.
He's got a good staff.
He's got a good staff. It's pretty organized. Like
they weren't sloppy.
No.
So you got Dion's got two personalities. There is Dion, and then there is Prime. And for 60 minutes of football, you got Dion, and then once the game was over, you got Prime.
That is the best way to look at that right there. Absolutely. You get the showman before and after the game, but during the game, you actually get the football man.
He's a good football coach.
100%.
Is good football coach. Oh, see ya.
Later.
Okay. Are we continuing this? Are we?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Colorado. Come on, guys. Boom.
Yeah.
Get fired up.
I am. I'm just very, very, very excited for the week. I have many thoughts, but yeah. I mean,
you got to compartmentalize that. Well,
I tried to a little
4
bit.
days.
I just kind of I got on the sheet last night and I just started kind of just typing.
Could we have done Big Buff Overreaction Saturday?
Yes,
and it would have been just as popular as the great show that you guys executed Thursday night.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I mean, I was obviously very surprised with what happened on Saturday. They have. I mean, I was surprised by a lot of different things. Obviously, their organization and their entire thing seems to be pretty good. But TCU doesn't seem that good. I'm not trying to minimize what they did because we didn't say that they were going to win that game.
Both things can be true on Saturday's win for Colorado. Colorado looked maybe better than what people thought, but TCU
could have done.
Got some stuff going on.
TCU could have done a lot more to probably, accentuate what they did a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, again, you can point out TCU's shortcomings in that game, either by game management on how they kind of messed around there in the first half, or by some of the things they don't do as well as they did a year ago. Either way, you can look at that without pouring cold water all over Colorado. And you can still say, but, Colorado still looked impressive. Both things can be true when looking at that game on Saturday.
Oh, I think so.
100%.
I think so. And then we also we were already on edge going into Saturday because of the overreaction of Thursday night.
Right.
And then we have this insane national all of the I saw the one of Nick Wright going around. He was like, this is the greatest story of all time. It's okay,
sports story
after 1 week of college football, we've already got the greatest story.
I was like, I can't wait to see what this turns into, because I mean, if they don't end up winning on Saturday, or they don't have a winning season or something like that, what is it then? Is it still the greatest sports story of all time?
Is that one game in Fort Worth, Texas, considering Texas Tech that
tough
TCU
weekend for Texas Tech?
Yeah, it was. That was a great game though. TCU was present in the national championship, and I say present because everything else didn't really work out that way. But the fact that they were there, Colorado comes in, huge underdog, goes into Fort Worth and plays a team that is not that team that finished runner-up in the national championship, but is a TCU team that comes with a little swagger. And this was something that Reese Davis brought up, and I thought was spot on. As great as that was for Colorado on Saturday, the amount of momentum and goodwill that TCU built up last year, a lot of it came undone.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even realize this, but I guess the players just After the game, they completely marched off the field, and they usually stick around for the alma mater, and they do that. They wanted nothing to do with that. They came off the field, and I guess so Sonny Dykes had to apologize and said that will never happen. So it was just a lot of things that took place that Saturday. If you're a TCU fan, not a college football fan, but a TCU fan, a lot of that came undone in one Saturday afternoon of football.
Well, they seemed a little shell-shocked. They seemed a little. They shouldn't have been as surprised as the rest of us were that was happening, as the team that was playing them.
TCU played that exact game like 8 times
They
last
did.
year, but it always
And they
ended
won.
with a returned field goal that was fumbled and then picked up and brought back by TCU for a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, Hunter doesn't have the pick there. That's why I was thinking, like, is Max Duggan, does he throw in 2 red zone picks? Even the Travis Hunter interception, he literally pulls that ball out of the guy's hand. So maybe that one is more on Travis Hunter than it is on bad quarterback decision making. But again, to your point, Josh, there were things that bounced TCU's way a year ago. And I know the more I bring this up, it sounds like you guys are just bashing TCU because you don't want to accept that Colorado won. No, Colorado, again, both things can be true. But what is going to be interesting about this season for Colorado is how do they look in those types of games week in and week out? Is there a boom or bust element to Colorado? What do we really know about Colorado? But maybe more importantly, what don't we know about Colorado? Because week 1. That was week 1. We don't know about TCU.
Yeah.
And
we don't know about anybody. I mean,
we don't.
Look, we're gonna do overreaction. So I got a special edition of college football reaction, overreaction. We usually do it for the NFL today.
Yeah.
And the answer to all of the questions is overreaction. Is Ohio State bad? Is Penn State bad? Is Michigan bad? Because they all didn't look great.
Right.
They all didn't look great on Saturday.
No.
And maybe you could make the argument. The only team that I would hear it for, Clemson. Clemson might suck.
I thought they were over Clemsoning. I really did. I thought they were over Clemsoning.
No,
Last night
back.
was a Clemsoning.
Clemsoning is so back.
They didn't punt in the second half.
No. This was Duke, guys. And good for Duke. Hey, good for them. But and this is that other question about Clemson. Like, okay, I get it. You want to draw a line in the sand and say, no.
Hey, Clemson looks totally different.
No transfer portal. We're not, getting wrapped up in NIL. Well, other teams are.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, but this is what happens.
You could tell on their team. They just don't have, they don't look anywhere close to the same as they looked 2 or 3 years ago.
Nope.
Just from in terms of, athletes and stuff like that. So we'll do that today. But the answer to everything is there's been a giant overreaction to everything that's happened in week 1 of college football. And I love it. It makes this a very, very exciting week. And then you get to figure out what's what as we go on. I mean, even if Nebraska loses this week, which they may, it still doesn't mean the season's over. But it's more of like, I saw this take out there about, comparing Nebraska and Colorado. Like, how can they have a coach who, figures this out and does it in week, like who has it all figured out in week 1? Get the hell out of here.
I know.
He doesn't have it all figured out yet.
Well,
like,
exactly.
This is they won a game just as Nebraska could have and maybe should have won a game on Thursday. Like, this is not a finished project. They are not just like automatically like, oh, they're miles ahead of what Nebraska. They're building things in different ways.
Exactly. And that's the point of that is your rosters, everything that you've done to get into week 1 are completely catered to your style of coaching and how you want to build your program. Deion Sanders didn't like the roster. He decided to do a major overhaul. And guess what? They were able to put up 45 points. Let me ask you this too, to that. And are we talking about this game and are, a certain section of fans so demoralized by the thought of this game on Saturday if, say, Colorado is on the other end of it? Say Colorado loses 45-42.
Right.
So they're both 0-1, but they put up 42 points. Nebraska only put up 10. Are we having the same do you feel like already dreading that?
It's not as intense, obviously. It's not as like much of a national conversation.
Because I still feel like TCU would have gotten hardly any praise at all, and Colorado would have gotten more praise for falling just short. Maybe not to the level because they won, but they'd still be getting a lot of praise for putting up 42 and hanging there with TCU.
Yeah. I just, and we'll talk about this a lot today, but everybody just seems really, what are we so scared of? Like, what are we so scared of? Like, Nebraska will play a game.
Mm-hmm.
They may lose the game, but this is how it goes. Like you're going to lose some football games. You're not going to play well in every single game that you play. And we've gotten to the point now where everybody, I mean, it's just immediate dread and fear over everything. Like I think that number one, it'll be a competitive game this weekend.
I still think it will. Yeah,
I
do.
How I just
my little heart can take another one-score game, but yes, I would agree.
But we've gone into this really permanent state of dread in with Nebraska football now, and it's just really odd. Like that is just not the way I choose to operate if I was a fan of a team. It's like there's it's not that you have to be optimistic at all times, but it's like not everything is going to go. And so I think the reaction from some people is like, I want to back off of this because I can't take it anymore.
Right.
What are you talking about? You're a fan of a football team.
Yeah.
You're not going to die.
Right.
Like you're not going to contract a disease if they lose another football game. Like there's nothing at risk here. Except for you get
There's
sad.
no shot of penicillin that can cure that.
You get sad for a few hours,
right?
Like, and then you forget about it, and then you try it again. This is football season.
Hope,
we should all be really happy instead of just a constant
week.
State of dread that we're just dealing with the entire. It's just so weird how the fan base chooses to react to things.
Well, and Gary,
I don't want to speak for everybody.
No, I
don't want to speak for everybody.
I am absolutely right there with you. And Gary's brought this up a couple of times over the last couple of months, and it was, I don't think it was probably never truer than it was today. This is a problem that I think we have as a fan base is we worry so much about how other teams are building their programs.
God.
And it's at the point when we just worry about ourselves and what we're doing, and you have confidence in that and quit looking at someone else's example. Well, they did it. I thought it was supposed to take how many years? Well, they did it in one game. So Colorado's back? So, I mean, like after one game in Fort Worth, Texas, we are to believe that Colorado has got it all figured out. After one freaking Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, if this is about like who was better in week one, then yeah, they won.
Sure.
Like they won. You know,
I'd like to think there's going to be weeks that Nebraska might look better than Colorado does in a week, given whatever matchup, especially when Nebraska plays Northwestern.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't count those chickens just yet.
I watched the entirety of that game.
Yeah.
And I had
Thank God I had a tea time later on.
It was on like during my fantasy draft, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep this on. This is awesome.
Yeah,
waiting to see if Northwestern scores at the end, and they did. Congratulations.
Yeah.
They scored a touchdown. Good job by them.
Yeah, I got bailed out with a tea time in the second half.
We got
under still hit.
Under still comfortably hit.
That was free money, baby.
It did. But yeah, I mean, it's so true though. Like it's easy to try to take inventory of what's going on in the conference. And I get that sometimes you're looking at a future opponent and what they did. It kind of gives you an idea of, okay, like what do they bring to the next matchup? And that's totally fine. We're going to always do that. But to all of a sudden use what happened to Colorado and then compare it to first-year coach Matt Rhule. Again, rosters are different. Plans on how they're going to go about building their overall longevity of their time at that place are going to be different.
Did most of us think that they were going to lose in the first week?
Yes.
Did I pick them to lose in the first week? Yes. I picked them to lose by exactly 3, and they lost by exactly 3.
I had them losing by 8, so I feel better.
Did I also pick them to win 7 games this year, and I still think they have a great chance to do so? Yes.
So you went 7 as well?
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah, I got up to 7. Maybe it's 6, maybe it's 7,
yeah.
Whatever. But this is sort of always what this year was.
Now, where everything's a little different, too, going into this weekend is a lot of us had Colorado losing to TCU, and some people had Colorado getting smoked by TCU. But again, how much did we really know about TCU? And so, again, give Colorado credit. I'm with you. They won the week.
Yeah.
Without question, they did. Yeah. But that's why we have 12 weeks.
I think I mean, obviously, we undershot a lot of things about what they were going to be able to do right away. But I think mostly when we talked about them, it was like, man, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a great unknown.
As the conversation evolved throughout the summer, it became more of, and Josh, correct me if I'm wrong here, it became more of like, I'm just excited to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be right off the bat, but I'm more just excited to see what it is right away. And they set the bar pretty high. So they have to live up to that. The AP poll will come out in a half hour.
Mm-hmm. They'll be a top 25 team. Hell, they might be a top 20 team.
Matt Rhule said they might be a top 10 team.
And he said whatever it is, it's well-deserved. Matt Rhule, though, was extremely courteous towards
Matt Rhule was so good yesterday. That's the guy that you got, right?
Yep.
And that's the guy that we liked in the offseason. I don't know, things are obviously different now because people like to jump off ledges, but
he was very complimentary to Colorado.
But he was very just pretty like even keel about the entire, just very this is what we're doing. We're on track. A couple things would have gone a different way. Also, I mean, he didn't even say that we're on track. I don't think he would say such a thing because it's sort of impossible to be off of track after 1 week of football. Like you think after all of that, after all the talk about how this is a process and he talks about incremental gains and stuff like that they're going to panic and throw all that away after 1 week to sell out and win this game against No, that's not going to happen. They're gonna try and do better at what they do, and if it lands differently after a year, then they'll reevaluate and see what needs to be done there. But like they are going to continue to be exactly who they're trying to be.
No, and I'm glad you brought him up brought his demeanor up yesterday because it made me think about
very calm.
The three previous coaches. There was only another coach and the three previous coaches that would also have a very calm demeanor, but it's for the completely different, I shouldn't say wrong, but different reasons. That was Mike Riley. Bo, extremely up and down, very fiery, depending on what happened.
They caught a Hail Mary. What are we supposed to do?
And speaking of a guy who'd been very complimentary to the upcoming opponent, Mike would have been too. But Scott and Bo.
The Hail Mary did pop up on my timeline this morning.
I saw it today.
Didn't love it.
It was this day in college athletics.
Didn't love it.
But Bo and Scott, in their own different way, would have had that lingering effect of losing a game the way that they did on Thursday. And look, I'm not saying the fact that Matt Rhule was extremely even keel yesterday and seemed to be very calming, seemed to really find some things that he liked about it that they're going to be able to build on, is going to mean that Nebraska's going to roll into Folsom Field and they're going to beat Colorado. But if your players are taking your cue, that's the only way Nebraska gets out of this thing, is by staying that even keel, not riding the emotional roller coaster where you did have some coaches before that you would kind of ride that roller coaster with them, and it didn't always serve Nebraska very well. I liked his tone. There was a part of me that thought he was almost being over complimentary because he feels like they've got a shot this Saturday. He feels like they've got a shot, and I think he
would have been that way whether they got beat by 40 or they won. Yeah,
I think he just wants to be as under the radar as possible. And as he said yesterday, make it about football on Saturday. Nothing else. None of the pomp and circumstance. None of the the old rivalry. None of the prime just circus that's going to be there. But just make it about football and see where they are in the fourth quarter. See where they are at the end of this thing.
Speaking of making it about football, I love. The best part of this game, obviously there's the conversation about what Colorado is or what they might be or whatever this week. But I think the best part about this is that we get to talk about the football, and the football specifically is about as contrasting from a stylistic standpoint. I mean, Nebraska gets to really play the role of the Big Ten team, the Big Ten West team. And Colorado gets to Colorado
get the old school wide open Pac-12 team,
right? So I think their strengths and their weaknesses like completely sort of like match up well against each other. They sort of line up, and it's going to be awesome. I love that happened this weekend. Like some people are like, you hate that this is happening or what? I don't know what's going on a YouTube chat right now, Josh.
It's a dumpster fire.
We
can't look away.
I don't know what's going on.
We can't handle the truth, and that's that Colorado is back, baby.
There's just a lot going on in there, but I don't know what the
trolls, accusations of racism. It's a mess.
Just let it fly though. Just let it go. It's a YouTube comment.
And Husker fans, listen all week long. You don't have to take the bait. You don't have to get involved in a conversation that you don't want to be a part of.
That's true. That is true.
I
make it about football, Josh. Make it about football.
Obviously, they were a lot better than I thought they were going to be. So I totally agree. I have a whole bunch of respect for putting that together so quickly. I thought they had a couple skill players on the outside. Yeah. Obviously, Hunter is significant.
Him.
He is him.
Shedeur,
the
Shiloh.
Heisman would have been waiting at his crib.
Yeah.
And he caught those
He
couple
just would've
touchdowns
caught it,
in those first half, but he had a great game anyway. So, like, I have a lot of respect for that. Was what I was most surprised about, what I said, like the operation of the entire thing and how it sort of came together. I don't think TCU necessarily helped themselves in that category, but this is an opponent now where it's just a wild shift. It went from, do we actually have to respect them? Like, do we actually have to think about this as a football game, to now we're going to lose? That's just a wild, just a wild shift.
It is.
So obviously the truth lies somewhere in the middle there.
And it's only Tuesday.
Ah, man. So awesome. This is going to be just a fantastic week.
Yep. Enjoy, boys.
Well, we will. We'll get a call when we come back. Triggered Bob has been holding on for quite some time. Wonder what he's triggered about. And we'll take your calls as well on the show, 402-951-1620. We're open for you guys in the 42 Degrees hotline. Thank you, Nick.
All right, see you, boys.
That is the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha, everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Can't rule out a spotty shower or storm Tuesday morning as a cold front moves through. Let's expect mostly sunny and breezy conditions with gusts of 25 miles per hour possible. Highs will top out around 90. Northwest winds ramp up in the evening. Temperatures dropping around 60 by Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction, presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by J. Sennett Contracting, Tinman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction with the Keg and 1620 The Zone.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NFL is here, and it's all about the sweet offers from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SNAP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SNAP only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction, presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by Chase Senate Contracting, Tinman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction with the Keg and 1620 The Zone.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hey, Hap, I'm triggered again.
It's the Connor Happer Show with Connor Happer and Josh Otson. Let's get ready to rumble.
Licensing of the phrase "let's get ready to rumble" just over the last 7+ years internationally is grossed approximately close to $400 million in retail sales.
Really?
You guys look like, what do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
On 1620, The Zone.
Good morning and welcome in. Happy Colorado week. It's Tuesday. You had an extra day to sit and fester on what was a fun opening weekend of college football, just like that Big Red Overreaction caller on Thursday. That was fun.
That's right.
It was fun. It was fun,
It was
right?
fun.
Oh, man.
A lot of fun.
I'm so excited for this week for a variety of different reasons, which we'll tell you about during the show today. Let me set things up before we get to the phone callers right out of the bat here. 402-951-1620, the 42 Degrees, the Source hotline. Alan Bell will join the show, and he is our only guest. We have created some space for you guys to get loose today, if you would like to. And that's the lineup, powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We'll talk about week 1 of the NFL, and we'll review week 1 of college football, of course, with AB here at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour. But yes, there are some things to talk about from over the weekend. We'd encourage, if you got in touch with the show, at Connor Happer, at Happer Show, on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, Connor at 1620thezone.com. on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And feel free to jump in the fun YouTube comments.
It's a lot of fun over there.
A lot going on. You could find our stream on YouTube at 1620 The Zone TV or at 1620thezone.com if you want to join in the Twitch variety as well. We are excited to be here this week, and we're just a few days away. We're a few days away from lighting this candle. Things have changed over the last 5 days. Things have changed.
Couple 2 or 3 things.
And your energy has only gotten more passionate, which I do, at the end of the day, appreciate. To the phones, we start the show with a phone call from Triggered Bob, who's been waiting for a while. Good morning, Bob.
Hey, Hap, I'm triggered again.
Oh, man. Man, I didn't think that you would be, but okay.
Okay.
I have a lot to say, so I'll keep it concise. It's mainly centered around this idea of you can measure your level of happiness or contentment by taking expectations versus reality, and that margin is how you feel. Colorado, high expectations, and they probably outperformed, so they have so much momentum.
No doubt.
Versus Nebraska, we have high expectations here. I mean, we wait. Every press conference, we wait on those words with bated breath. We see every time a recruit changes his bio on X or Twitter. I mean, we obviously saw what happened on Thursday, so we're left feeling a little empty. And then, I mean, how does Colorado do that? They have 68 scholarship players, and we have 86 or whatever the number is. And we talk about NIL here at Nebraska. What has that really done if it doesn't come down to wins and losses? I mean, Dion did at least directionally correct over one summer. And people here are talking about give Rhule 8 years. I mean, I know it's one game. We're not expecting the world to turn around on its head, but I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Talk me off the ledge here. It was crazy seeing that on Saturday with Colorado.
It is, and thank you, Bob. I appreciate the call, and I would assume, or it feels like a lot of the fan base feels the same way. Man, why can't that happen to us? Or why didn't we? I mean, I saw the revisionist history of like, why did Nebraska try to hire Deion Sanders, or why did they not do that? It's really, really simple. All you guys have to do is think about our thought process on this like 5 days ago, all of which still exists, right? Because Matt Rhule is a complete and total fit under the athletic director and really for the state in its entirety. He comes in at a unique point in time when there has sort of been this bottoming out, and they've tried a whole bunch of different things as far as what to bring in, and head coaches, offensive gurus, defensive guys, guys who were CEOs, whatever, and anything in between. And I think there was sort of this sense from the Nebraska fan base of like, okay, we've tried everything, so now I don't really care how it happens anymore. Let's just do it. However we do it, let's just do it. And that makes Matt Rhule a pretty good fit because it does allow him the time. 8 years is just a contract. All right. For those of you bringing that up over the weekend, 8 years is just a contract. If he loses for 8 years straight, he's not going to make it to 8 years. If he loses for 4 years straight, he's not going to make it to 4 years, right? Or to 5 years. Like, this is not. So while at the same time, it doesn't have to be an overnight thing. And yes, Colorado won week 1 compared to Nebraska. It doesn't have to be an overnight thing, but we look at the other team across the aisle, the team that Nebraska is going to play this week, and they say it did happen in week 1. And my question back to you is, did it? Right? They looked really good. They looked really good. Is it a finished product? Hell no. Is Nebraska a finished product? Hell no. The thing that I love about this coaching staff, the thing that I love about Matt Rhule, is they have this ability to look in the mirror, to look at themselves. At least this is our perception of them, I think, right? And maybe it doesn't end up this way. There were things about Scott Frost that didn't end up being true about how he views football and how he tries to get better at things. But I get the sense that Matt Rhule loves this, that Matt not loves being in Nebraska. Obviously, he loves that too. But as you've heard from him, he talks about, I wish there was no AC in the dorms. Like I wish it was harder in a way. I wish we could test our team in all these various different ways. And I'm not saying that he likes being 0-1 and them being 1-0 or whatever it is. But I think he likes when his team is backed up against the wall. And I think he likes when his coaching staff is backed up against the wall, because then they get to really go to work. They get to see sort of, all right, how do we get better from week 1 to week 2? And I think that is where you see the real difference between this staff and the previous staff. This team, I got my hands up. Like, this is how I view Matt Rhule right now. I don't know. I hope this ends up being true. But my sense is that this team will continue to get better and better and better, and they will address their mistakes, and they will work on themselves. And at the end of the day, it is all about them instead of watching what happens from the outside looking in. I'm so excited to see this team from week 1 to week 2. I cannot wait to see how they respond. And as you guys noticed, I mean, it wasn't just the football on Thursday and the way that they lost, but the maybe organizational pieces. Like, it seemed a little bit frantic at times, and I think they were caught up in obviously trying to win a football game. And it happens during a football game. I think they're already working on that piece of it. How do we get better organizationally? How do we, now that we have this one game under our belt, how do we adjust for game number 2, and how do we look better for game number 2? That is that is where this staff will make its money. All right? Because you don't really know until you play. In Nebraska's first game, so I'm not saying that Rhule, like I said, was happy to lose game 1, but I think he's happy to see his team have some adversity. Contrary to what most people believe. Oh, man, this team doesn't need any adversity right now. Oh, man, this team could really use an easy win, and they certainly could. But I love the idea of this staff,
sandbagging.
They just, I'm not saying their backs are up against the wall either, but there's just a little bit of like, I'm excited to see what happens now. The heat's on. The heat is on.
Oh, remember that one?
It's on.
You'd go to Exarban and it would smell like beer and urine, and they'd play that song, and you'd be about as happy as you could be.
And the key to fixing it when the heat is on is not to panic and think about how hot the heat is. It's to fall back and be who you're trying to be. Be yourself. And I think they will not stray from that. And in fact, it fits very, very well into what they're the football game that they're attempting to win this weekend. Right? And we'll talk about that and from a matchups perspective as we go on throughout the show and obviously throughout the week. But, you know, if they can, I think in their minds, hey, if we execute, if we do a lot of little things better here, then we're going to have a really good chance to win. And if they don't, they'll try it again next week. And yes, of course, there is some hedging of the bets this week.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. Nebraska was an 8.5-point favorite when you woke up on Saturday morning. And then when you went to bed on Saturday night, they were 1.5 underdogs, and now they're 3 or 2.5 on the FanDuel Sportsbook, I think. So
promo code Happer.
That number may grow throughout the week.
And now MLB Network is talking about Deion Sanders.
They are. And this coaching staff excites me with their view sort of themselves and how they approach their business, or how this head coach approaches his business. Okay. So that's the sort of initial thought out of the way. Back to you guys. This is a big Colorado overreaction with you here on 1620 The Zone. Back to the 42 Degrees of Source Hotline. Craig is here. Hi, Craig. Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Great.
Hey, I heard a lot about how good Colorado did, which they beat a good team. But they did give up 28 points in the second half, and they gave up 42 points in general. That's not going to win you a lot of games. You can't. I don't think your offense can outscore other teams every time. Any idea what the over/under is for the game this weekend?
Yeah, I can check that for you real quick.
Colorado? Because I think both teams should score some points.
58.5, Craig.
Oh, no. I think 58.5. That might be Colorado. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously. I think it's going to go over that, too. But
you think so?
I
don't think Nebraska would like that.
They could have scored 25 against Minnesota. They weren't just fumbling. Keep protection of the ball, and I don't care if it is. I do think Minnesota is better than Colorado. I might be foolish for thinking that, but Colorado, yeah, they're a brand new team. But Minnesota, as much as they're rebuilding, we're solid. They didn't rebuild like Nebraska, and they didn't rebuild like Colorado. So I'm excited about the game. I thought we win before this week, and I still think we're going to win. I just think it might be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. Appreciate the call. I think, like I was saying before, the idea and how their formula to win a football game is the same as it was last week. It is, let's hang with them. Let's hang tight. Let's win this game in the fourth quarter by wearing them down. That fits perfectly to play this team. Now, their formula also fits perfectly to play a team like Nebraska. Their idea of winning a football game is score a lot all the time.
Let's get up 21, and then there's nothing they'll be able to do about it.
Right. Do you love Nebraska in a shootout? No. Do you love Colorado in a slobber knocker? No. That's at least what we know after week one.
Right.
Both of those teams have something to prove in those categories. Can Nebraska's offense, score 30 points? Maybe. Can Colorado's defense, get off the field and prevent Nebraska from kind of just running it at them the entire game? Didn't look like it from week one.
No disrespect.
Even though Nebraska couldn't run the ball that well on Thursday.
We have entered Chiefs territory where we have to caveat everything we say about Colorado.
Yeah, it's just week one.
No disrespect to the Buffs.
No. Yeah, we don't want to show up on any of those long receipts that he's got.
I'm
a little concerned.
I mean, he's got JC on his hoodie. You know who that is. It's not Jared Crick.
So I don't know. As far as Craig's comment on who's better, Minnesota or Colorado, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. It seems to me that Colorado looked better in week 1, but there's the aesthetically pleasing, piece to what they do. And I think, ultimately they'll probably say, all right, even if you do get us into your type of game, even if you do drag us into a Big Ten West slobber knocker, we still have Travis Hunter and we still have Shedeur Sanders and we still have these playmakers that can go out and make plays. And that's something that Nebraska has, they got to, Matt Rhule talked about it. We'll hear from him later in the show, but hey, it's about converting third downs, extending drives, and getting off the field on third down. What did Nebraska not do on Thursday night? They didn't get off the field on third down very much, especially in the first half. Minnesota was 6 of their first 8. So I'm just so incredibly interested in the contrast of styles of this game and which one wins out. Obviously, if Nebraska has it their way, that under's coming in. If Colorado has it their way, they don't have to worry about an over-under because they're going to win the game going away. And Nebraska doesn't want to play it in a track meet.
No.
Especially with this team. No, you don't want to do that. But there's another side to this as well. John is now with us on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Good morning, John.
Morning, Connor. Morning, Josh. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good, John.
Okay. I just want everybody to kind of keep their cool a little bit, and I'd like to talk about defense and bring some numbers into this.
Go ahead. Fire away, John.
All right. So, look, TCU defense looked pretty bad. Well, let me tell you how bad. Last year, they were 91st in the country. Compare that to Minnesota. They were 4th in the country last year in defense. This game is going to look much different than last week for both teams. Nebraska, 77th. Nebraska's defense is actually better than TCU's by scoring last year. And last year, they weren't good. This year, they look like the best they've looked since maybe 2016. Granted, that's just one game. So we'll see. But look, they look good. Colorado, they're a totally different team. But just for the record, last year, dead last in the NCAA at 131st. How many new defensive players do they have? Through the portal, on the line. I know the back end looks really pretty decent for them, but they still, like Craig said, they scored 42 points. We got 42 points scored on them. So have a little hope, Husker fans.
Yeah.
I'm with you. We can do it.
Thank you, John.
Just, hold on to the dang ball.
Hold on to the dang ball. That's going to be paramount on Saturday. Thank you, John. I appreciate the call. Everybody calm down, says John.
And Jeff,
stay calm. Stay freaking calm.
Got to maintain our composure. Jeff.
Where's Jeff? Who's Jeff?
Jeff Sims.
Oh, okay.
Right here, Jeff.
Yeah. Don't throw that thing to the other team.
Don't throw it to Trav. Don't throw it to Travis's side of the field. Just
TCU had that. So the one where Hunter had the diving pick. Like let's just think about that right there. And I think it was either right before halftime or it was in the third quarter. That game was sort of just up and down the entire way. But TCU's going down, and I think they're trying to make it a 10-point game at the time. Maybe they're up a 3 or up 7, whatever it might be. Or maybe they're trying to tie the game, but they're trying to score, right? They're in the red zone, deep in the red zone. And TCU had sort of methodically got down the field and ran it at him and throw some short stuff. And it was just like, okay, what's Colorado going to do about this? It doesn't seem like anything. And then they try to swing out, a pass to the running back, and Hunter just read it all the way, and he dove and he made that pick, which was an incredible play. So yes, there's two sides. One hand, incredible play. TCU should have never been in that situation. Just run the football right at him. So, Nebraska will have to take some shots. They will have to make some plays on Saturday, but you got to pick your spots, and then you hope they don't end up in disaster, right? Colorado is going to take lots of shots. They're going to take however many shots downfield it is, through the game. I like Nebraska's secondary. Do I like them against these wide receivers? We'll see. That'll be a fun test. But yeah, I think John hit the nail on the head for sort of the story of the week, which is let's just take a deep breath. Let's just take a big deep breath here. Did we underestimate how they would look in the first game? You bet. Absolutely, we did. We were wrong. I would even say that we were wrong. Is this a finished product? No. And how does it work against a significant contrast in styles? Can Nebraska drag them into the pit, as so many teams have drugged Nebraska into the pit, the snake pit, over the last 4 years, and then win a game, 5 years, and then win a game late? That's what you hope.
What does
That's
it
the
look
formula.
like when Colorado plays a running team? Are they going to put 7-8 guys in the box and really key in on the run and force Jeff Sims to pass? What are they going to do?
Mm-hmm. They got to make that decision. And I also think there is probably a little bit within that program of that program being Colorado of we have arrived. The AP poll is going to come out in just a couple minutes. I haven't seen it leak out there yet. Have you, Josh?
I have not yet. I have seen Amy released her rankings.
She had Colorado, I think, at 24.
That is correct.
I
would imagine a lot of other people do as well.
There's probably a sense of we have arrived in that program. There is obviously not a sense of that in Nebraska's program at this point. And I don't mind Nebraska playing from an underdog role in this game. I don't mind that at all. It's sort of what they were on Thursday, and they didn't finish the job, but man, it looked like they were going to for a while. And not to just give them the credit for being in the game. You got to finish it. But yes, this week is completely interesting now. I mean, all the way through.
I think Matt Rhule likes the underdog spot that his team is in. I don't think he likes how the team finished last week, but I think he's okay being where all the pieces are on the chessboard right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'll have more coherent thoughts as we go on throughout the show.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's true. No guarantees on that one, by the way. Want to hear from you guys. 402-951-1620. You can text into the show. You could also call into the show, as our 3 callers have already. We say good morning to all the YouTube and the YouTube commenters.
You maniacs.
You guys are doing great over there. You guys stay right where you are.
Don't change.
Don't change at all. The AP poll will be released in a couple minutes. We'll see if Nebraska gets to go on the road and play a ranked team this week. They just might.
John Bishop has an amazing chart of Nebraska's recent history against ranked teams.
How's it gone for them, Josh? I wonder.
Not great. Great.
Interesting.
Over.
Opportunity week, Josh.
Opportunity week.
Remember what PJ Flex said about opportunity? Like he what was he referring to as opportunities? Like something bad that has happened to you. He's like, no, these are just opportunities. These are opportunities.
Yeah.
It's opportunity week.
I have an opportunity to defend my name.
This game, and we'll talk about this in a bigger light. This game has gone from you should be winning it, and you probably will win it. And it's, I don't know if people viewed it as a formality on the schedule. I think there was a lot of people who did. So we'll just say that. I don't want to speak for everybody. Like, right, it's a formality on the schedule. You got to go out there and win. Nebraska's going to do that, though, and they'll take care of their business just fine. That light has changed. Now, all of a sudden, you've been presented with this beautiful jump start opportunity. You didn't think you had it 3 days ago. The jump start opportunity was on Thursday. And now you get another one? An opportunity to jumpstart sort of the program and have, have a lot of things heading in your direction after week 2. That's how I'm sort of looking at this. They've had so many over the last decade now. So I'm super excited about the opportunity, and I think they'll I think it'll be a great game.
Can I give the audience just a little
I genuinely don't know who wins at this point. I feel like Nebraska. I feel like it's a good bet for Nebraska to cover, but we'll just see how that evolves.
Picture this, Connor. It's Big Red Overreaction.
With not me.
Not you, not me either.
Mm-hmm.
Every call starts with, "Hey, Gary. Hey, Josh. Thanks for taking my call. I got a question for you. Do you believe?" Every single call.
Can't wait.
You get to do that if Nebraska wins.
It's an opportunity, man. That's why you guys stop being so scared. Stop being so scared. All right, a lot of things to get to on the show today. We will come back Alan Bell will join us at the bottom of the hour. We'll get his take. He even had a take on Nebraska.
Takes.
Okay, there's takes galore on Deion Sanders. Just turn on your television. We're up next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
The cigar enthusiasts at Hearth Cigars and Pipes are a pretty diverse bunch of humans. Some enjoy an adult beverage or two, others pass the time with a competitive yet friendly game of dominoes. Still others enjoy shooting some pool downstairs, while more than a few are just satisfied with each other's company. The common thread with all of them is the awesomeness that is their favorite cigar from the humidor. Hearth Cigars and Pipes, just off the 48th Street exit from I-680 at the corner of Mormon Bridge Road and McKinley, and at hearthcigars.com.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit, or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is from Vallis Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard. Get 2 anytime passes for the price of 1. An $88 value for just $44. Over 50 attractions are included. The Pumpkin Eating Dragon, the Pig Races, the Carousel, the Egg Spinner, the Barnyard Challenge Course, and more. Vallis Pumpkin Patch opens September 15th.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Hi, everybody. Kent Pavelka here to talk about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked or uneven concrete, Everlevel can do it all with their complete repair solutions. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, and protect the surface, all at a fraction of the price compared to replacement. And better yet, they offer long-term transferable warranties. I'm so glad I chose Everlevel for my driveway. Give them a call for your free inspection. That's Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Union Omaha. Back at it a couple of times this week at Warner Park, Wednesday as well as Saturday night. North Carolina FC and the Richmond Kickers coming into Warner Park. Go to the website today, unionomaha.com, and pick up your tickets. Whether you are a diehard supporter of soccer, whether you have never been to a match before, anything in between, you're going to have an awesome time like I have over the last few years. Buy the tickets today online at unionomaha.com.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/zone and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Where's this AP poll? Who was late getting their vote in?
This is why journalism is dying. It's 4 minutes late.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You tell me that AP poll comes out at 11. I want it out at 11.
I mean, I guess maybe it's a weird one since it's Tuesday. People forget, Josh, it's Tuesday.
It is. Short week.
You got to cram all of it into 4 days of sports talk.
The Cram Boys.
I'm the Cram Boys. I don't know how we're going to cram it, but we are. Let's go back to Matt Rhule from yesterday. Matt Rhule at a press conference yesterday. I don't know if you guys knew that either.
Working on a holiday. Don't you love seeing that from your coach?
I almost thought, you know what? I can go. I might just go.
Boots on the ground.
I do love being boots on the ground. And then I thought, nah, I'm just gonna take my nice day off.
Yeah.
And so I did.
You worked a lot last week.
It's just talking on the radio about sports.
Standing on a dugout and talking about dizzy bat races.
We don't do a dizzy bat race.
I know.
Even though that is the go-to one,
Yeah.
we don't do a dizzy bat race.
If I'm trying to convey what Connor does out at Warner Park with the Omaha Storm Chasers, I say dizzy bat race.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm talking
about.
about.
The guy who talks about the dizzy bat race. No, don't do the dizzy bat race.
Oh.
It's very interesting.
They don't do that generic crap out at Warner.
No. We keep it real creative. Matt Rhule is given ample opportunity to say anything remotely interesting about Colorado yesterday, and he declined on several occasions. Here's Matt Rhule's initial thought on the Buffaloes.
Well, I think you both, they have really good coaches. Okay, so I think you go back and look at their coordinators. Okay, you go back and look at Sean Lewis at Kent State. Sean's, I consider him a friend. He's an excellent coach. He comes out of the Art Briles, Dino Babers tree. So you're going to get the ball run from B gap to B gap. You know that they're going to attack you on the perimeter. You know they're going to take 10 deep ball shots a game. They have the guys that can go down the field and go up, and their ball skills are elite. They've got the quarterback who can make those throws. So it's really a perfect storm, perfect hire, that style of offense with that skill set of guys that they have, plus the altitude and tempo in Boulder, right? So it's really well thought out. On defense, obviously Coach Kelly, comes from the Saban tree. You're watching Florida State film. So you can't look at everything just what they did, last week, because obviously they were facing a unique offense in TCU. It's like two different worlds of what we played against last week compared to what they're doing. So, but we're studying everything, right? Obviously they have a lot of new players that we're watching, but we have new players. They're seeing our guys for the first time too. So a lot of work's been done in the summer. A lot of work's being done right now.
Okay. Here's some more bait for you, Matt.
Oh.
Were you as surprised as the rest of the country watching the Colorado and TCU game on Saturday? Here's Matt Rhule.
No.
Hold on. Let me rephrase that. He was not surprised. Were you surprised? Was the question. Mm-hmm. So the first answer was no, not no. Were you as surprised as us? But just were you surprised?
No. Coach Sanders is a football guy, and so while you can watch all these peripheral things, while you can see, they show their practices, you can watch all this stuff on TV. At the end of the day, when has he ever not been serious about football? He's been a head coach now. He's won both places. So they've got elite players, elite skill players, and elite players up and down the front. They've got anytime you have a great quarterback, you're going to have a chance to win. So I wasn't surprised at all.
Not surprised at all. Not even a little bit? Okay. Follow-up question was obvious. What's a football guy? So he said Coach Sanders is a football guy. This was Sipple's opportunity to come in. Hey, when you say football, what is that? When you say football guy, what's that mean? What are you? Can you characterize that? Here's Matt Rhule.
He's won in everything he's done in football. He's won as a player. He's won as a coach. So I think everyone maybe thinks outside, not me. Everyone else thinks well, this is all a show, and that he's the most serious person about football. His poster was on people's walls for a reason as a player, because he's one of the hardest practicing, hardest playing people that's ever played the game, right? So why would we think that his team wouldn't be the same? CJ White's on our staff, was a strength coach for him. He told us early on, let me tell you how they're going to practice. Let me tell you what they're going to do. So the utmost respect for Coach Sanders. When he was the head coach of Trinity Christian, I recruited Quaylen Jones out of there. He's a football guy. He's all the other stuff, the commercials and all those things. Those are extra things you get to do when you're elite at football. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I think everything he's ever done in football, he's been successful at, and so he's being successful here already.
By the way, was there anybody else who was just incredibly confused at how many times they were saying the word Sanders on Saturday during that game?
There were so many people on the field named Sanders.
The TCU's running back was Sanders also.
Shador,
There's
Coach Prime.
And the other son, Shiloh, is on defense.
That was another child.
Yeah,
of his.
yeah.
Okay.
So they spent 80% of the game talking about Dion, and then it's like, oh, there's also Shador. He's really good. That's like 15%. And then there's like 5% they're handing it off to the TCU running back, and the other 5% the Shiloh was making. That was 100% of the game. There was a Sanders being mentioned.
I don't know if that was the alcohol I was consuming, or if there were that many people named Sanders on the field. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
How was your little your nightcap last night?
Little whiskey wash.
How far did you get into that?
I had about 3 glasses.
Okay. Put a dent in it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice.
Did you watch the game all the way through?
I did, start to finish, every play. None of this big football in 60.
No, we don't do that. Big turd.
I did watch a lot of big football in 60. It's a great tool for someone like me.
It is. And we love YouTube.
Yes.
Just skip through some stuff. But by the way, have we seen a TV number on this game? Because it must have been the most watched college football game in recent history.
I kind of thought they would have started touting that.
I
saw Peacock was immediately touting Michigan's game as the most watched football game on Peacock.
Yeah.
Like, well, no duh.
Yeah. It's Michigan, and it's on Peacock for the very first time. I can't wait to see the TV number because every single person that watches college football was watching it. Yeah. It wasn't going up against anything else. Unless you're interested in Iowa, and Utah State.
Iowa, you could have kicked the field goal. You could have kicked the field goal at the end and got over the number.
Hey, by the way,
but
Josh,
you didn't.
Quick picks wise, you beat me week 1, 4-2.
I beat you?
Beat me.
Even when I said TCU would win by 30.
Correct. You did double and triple down on that one. You said I'm going to, and I quote, because I was listening back to the segment when I'm calculating the picks. So I gave you the first pick, and the first game we did was Colorado and TCU, and you said 20.5. I'm gonna buy it up to 35.
And I tried. I couldn't. The max FanDuel would let me go as 30.5.
And you did it.
And I did it. And I lost.
You may have missed
like a sucker. But you know what? Rutgers Northwestern, free money.
Yeah, that was easy. We told you Rutgers in the under, and I don't know. Everybody should have been on that game, but Rutgers. What do we do with Rutgers? Is Rutgers the best team ever now? I do like their quarterback, actually. By the way, speaking of week 1 overreactions, Wimsett, he's a pretty good player. Okay, one more potential take the bait opportunity.
I mean, these are direct questions where if he does not answer them correctly, it is all over ESPN.
And it's all over whatever, bulletin board they have over there in Boulder as well. I'd like you, Coach, to compare and contrast what you're doing at Nebraska to what he's doing at Colorado. Isn't it funny that you guys are doing things so differently? Here is Matt Rhule yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sorry to do this here. I respectfully am not going to, I can't talk about anybody else. For me, the guys in the portal that we have a relationship with, we have respect for, or we know, or something, they fit us, obviously we'll take some of those guys. We're going to try to recruit high schools as much as possible, specifically local guys. It's always taken me a couple of years to get the program up and running, and usually I feel like when it's done, we got to Temple, we lost the championship game, we won it the next year. They won for a couple of years after that with the new coach. I went to Baylor. We lost the championship game in year 3. COVID here, year 4. Those same kids, won the Big 12, went to the Sugar Bowl. So I only know how to kind of do it one way. The rules are a little different now, but I respect anybody that's just trying to figure out how to win. So there's different ways of doing it. So, however Coach Sanders is doing it, however Luke Fickell's doing it, however everybody's doing it, it's not really for me to say. For me, it's just, hey, this is how we're doing it, and this recruiting class that we have right now to us is, like as I said last week, is a really big one for us as we move forward. But obviously, they're going to be a ranked team, so what they're doing is working.
So there it is.
They're gonna be a ranked team.
Congratulations. Well, he also said earlier that they may be a top 10 team, which I'm not so sure about that.
I wouldn't think so.
But many opportunities for for the fish version of Matt Rhule to take some bait yesterday at the press conference, and let's not go on there. Nor did I expect him to. We don't have to worry about that, I don't think, with this coach. They're going to respect their opponents. They're not going to say anything about what they do compared to what other teams do. They do it their way, and they're really comfortable and confident in doing it their way. Like we all think that bleep's hitting the fan because they won and Nebraska lost, and it's like they're ahead, so something that they must be doing must be better than what Nebraska is doing. They have so much confidence in what they do, and they talk about it often, right? Traditionally, it's taken a little bit of time, and we don't want it to take time, but it traditionally has taken some time. So I think what he's telling everybody else is just like, hey, calm down. Like we're still going to do this our way. Just because what unfolded in, the time frame between 7:00 on Thursday and 3:00 on Saturday unfolded doesn't mean we have to reevaluate everything that we're doing.
It's the Mike Norvell path to victory.
Yeah.
It's going to
Look
hurt.
at Mike Norvell.
It's going to hurt, but if you stick with me, I'm going to take you there.
Right. And we want it to happen soon because other people have it happen soon to them. And that's a normal thing to think. And
absolutely. You're tired of losing.
Yes. We will get to Rhule on the game and themselves and how they've responded to Thursday night. Because it's also, by the way, served as like you get the post-game press conference for Minnesota, but then coaches go and they get to watch the film and watch tape. Most of this is about Colorado, by the way, which is good. I like when the press conference the week of is about the upcoming game because it means it's an interesting football game instead of like, hey, what'd you do and what's your depth chart look like and how you're responding and all this stuff. There's a little bit of that as well, which we'll get to throughout the show today. Let's take a phone call from the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Right to Mike. Mike, good morning. How are you? Mike, you with us? Did we lose him?
I had the wrong pot up. That's on me.
Josh.
I point the thumb.
That's on you, Josh.
That's
okay, now you should be up, Mike. What's up?
You can hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll think that's a good thing or not. No, I'm agreeing with you. That I'm taking the positive approach here, and there are good things. And that game could have been won by 3 touchdowns. But I'm thinking of the improvement we saw. Yeah, and we everybody's talked about it. The defense definitely improved. Would you agree?
Nebraska's defense?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were pretty stout at the end of last year, but yes.
Yeah, and I thought after the first few minutes of the other day that they were going to kill us. It did not look good early, and they couldn't run the ball against us. And that is Minnesota. I know they got new running backs, some new people, and the special teams much better. And here's the thing: guys that made key mistakes. Obviously in the quarterback, but like Ty Robinson, that late hit. That cannot happen. Do you agree?
I would agree. I said as much on Thursday night. Like it's a bad rule. Like it's not, and I don't like the suspension, the suspension for the first half of the next game. Like I don't love that piece of it. But like you said, you can't do it because everybody knows the rules by now.
Yeah, but it's before the targeting rule. That's just an obvious late hit. The official's looking right at it. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And but I didn't replay a lot of stuff in that game. I did see replay on that. That was not targeting. He wasn't going for. He was shoving him hard in the upper chest, collarbone area.
And then the helmet made contact with the helmet.
It did make contact, but there's going to be a lot of contact in a lot of plays. He was not going for the head, and I like Clad a lot. Well, he dipped. You dip. You get down low to make a tackle.
Yeah, that's how you do it. But unfortunately, the intent doesn't matter in this case. I wish it did, but it doesn't.
But clearly a penalty. He should never done that. But the other guys that made key plays are key guys that we can really depend on. That they're probably not going to do it again. Like Piper. The movement. And he's a key guy. He's a great guy. And I don't think that'll happen. I know there's a lot of noise there, maybe the student section, but you can't be doing that. And Hartzog, one of our best players. And do you agree that the coverage he had help on one side, not on the other? You cannot get beat where you don't have help.
No doubt.
Am I right?
And he's supposed to be sitting back in his zone there. No doubt. And that was a mental mistake, but I thought he had played a really good game up to that point.
That's exactly right. And the point is, he's one of our best guys. And what I'm saying is, mistakes that were made by key guys are probably not going to happen again. The big question is our quarterback. And let me ask you this: what if Thompson is still here? What's the situation?
Well, I don't want to see Nebraska's offense try to run the ball with Casey Thompson as their quarterback on Thursday night.
Did you see him throw 5 touchdowns over the weekend?
I don't know. The revisionist history on Casey, like, I just think, number one, this is what happens when you have a new head coach who wants to bring in his quarterback. There's been a real, gravitation toward him, and like, I get it, he's a good player. He doesn't add that running ability that they clearly needed more than we gave them credit for, needing during the offseason.
Yeah, but the point is, we cannot win with a quarterback running it that many times. We know that.
Yes.
And I talked to you last time we called that we expected to run maybe more in this game because it's a big game and you do what you got to do to win. But Gary Sharp is very negative about the prospects for our quarterback. The football IQ or making certain passes or just not locking in on the receiver. And I think he can get better at that. Do you?
I absolutely do. Yes, and like he has enough talent. That can work itself out. I guess that's sort of on the coaching staff. He's going to make mistakes. Like, that's what we have to sort of like. He's going to make mistakes because he's just made mistakes throughout his career. But I think he could be a very, very serviceable quarterback.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I'm looking at the positive. I think it's much better that Colorado did great, relatively speaking, the other day than if we were there as a big favorite and we got to win. So things are looking good. And even if we lose and we play decently, there are a lot of winnable games that we have if we got the right coach. But boy, he is so positive in talking about the other guys, the other side. I mean, he's killing them with kindness.
He's just, and Mike, thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Okay.
He's just really even keel. Like, this is the guy that we wanted. This is the guy that we loved. This hasn't changed. Like, he's going to continue to be this way in Nebraska. And so takes an adjustment from our part on these things, And I don't know that people listened to the press conference yesterday and they were like, "Oh, this guy pisses me off already. I don't want to hear him talk." Like,
I'm sick of his smug face.
I don't feel like we've reached that point quite yet. Hopefully, but they're gonna. That's the way this is gonna be. They're gonna keep it really, really even keel. And they're going to talk about the opponents really in a good way. And it's not even about, it's also talking about what they did, right? I think if Matt Rhule had it his way, he'd talk about the things that they're trying to do within their program a lot more than he's talking about anybody else. It puts him in an uncomfortable position to talk about other programs because, number one, he doesn't know and he doesn't want to say anything, And so I think he'd rather talk about what they do. And he did a lot at the press conference yesterday, and not much has changed. And I hope to God not much has changed. Why would anything change? Right? Like, if you clean up, like, I'm talking about big picture, why would anything change? If it does, we got a real problem. We're talking about panicking after one game because of what you did and then what your future opponent is doing. No, you got to be better. You got to be better at what you do. Some people disagreeing on Sims on the text line via the Equitable Bank inbox as well. Jeff writes in.
Oh, really? Hi, Jeff.
Strongly disagree. The Sims we saw Thursday was the same guy at Georgia Tech. I'll say this about Sims. Like, yes, it was, as we said, and we talked about it in the roundtable deal on Thursday. He's turnover prone. He has been turnover prone his entire career. He has thrown interceptions. He had going into that game, 25 games, 23 picks. So now what? 26 games and 26 picks? I guess that's right. 26 games and 26 interceptions, right? But I would give him a chance to settle in with how much talent just raw talent, arm talent, whatever he has in this offense. He's got to see some things better. They got to put a little less on his shoulders. When quarterbacks get running, they get a little bit frantic, and then the throwing part of it, tends to get a little bit more wobbly, right? Can Nebraska conventionally run it this week? I think so. I think they could do a lot better. Anyway.
Yeah, I think their running backs have enough talent to pop a couple big runs against Colorado's defense.
Chris M writes in on the Equitable Bank inbox.
Hi, Chris.
Question, can the quarterback get better? All caps, well, he can't get much bleeping worse. He also ran for 90 yards. I mean,
yeah.
Like he was
against Minnesota, he ran for 90 yards.
Let's keep
I
in
think
mind
he can
here,
get loose against Colorado.
he was also Nebraska's best player. He may have been their worst player, but he was also their best player at the same time. Like, we have to acknowledge that piece of it as well. And then Zach tweeted at me or emailed me the Keyshawn Johnson clip that's been going around. Have you seen the Keyshawn Johnson clip?
Have I seen the Keyshawn Johnson
Josh,
clip?
this is
AKA, have I seen the man who might have a grudge against Nebraska clip?
This is like the Michael video all over again. Have you seen the Keyshawn Johnson clip?
Was he wearing a weird shirt?
I don't know. I don't know what Keyshawn was wearing during the Keyshawn clip. Let me click on it. Let me see. No, pretty normal shirt. Pretty normal shirt.
Pretty normal shirt for a totally normal, not biased at all guy.
Would you like to play the Keyshawn clip?
Sure. Can you send it to me?
Yeah.
Because I actually haven't seen it. I didn't bother because Keyshawn might not like Nebraska guys.
I'm going to send it to some guy named Josh.
Okay. Hate to break it to y'all.
It's possible. It's possible that Keyshawn may have some things to say about Nebraska. But everybody's jumping on the Dion thing as was expected if they were to pull something like that off.
I'm going to bet this audio is terrible.
It is. It's like a picture of a picture, but I'm sure you'll be able to hear it in some way. Here's Keyshawn Johnson talking about what Nebraska's prospects are on Saturday.
Sold out stadium, at home against, I watched Nebraska against Minnesota. Nebraska's sorry, man. Nebraska's slow. They're sorry. They can't keep up. They're not going to be able to keep up. This is, as far as the Big Ten goes, the matchup, Ohio State with all that speed playing against Nebraska, think that for Colorado. Yeah, Richard.
We love doing this. Especially, and
no other sport loves the transitive property. Like,
here's the thing too. We have an adjustment here. This has now been 13 years in the making. We all did this exact same thing when Nebraska joined the Big Ten. Didn't we? What did we say? Look at that slow-ass conference.
We're going to run all over them.
This is going to be awesome. Nebraska got picked to win the league in their first year. They go up to Wisconsin in the first year. They just get drilled by Wisconsin, right? And they beat Ohio State, and they ended up having a good year. They didn't go to the championship game. But, like, we've all done this. We've all looked at the Big Ten and said, there's nothing special about this stupid thing. What? But the fact of the matter is, you hear coaches talk about it, and it's not just in the Big Ten. The way that they play defense in this league is really comparable to the NFL, and the field gets a lot smaller. Tanner Mordecai learned that on Saturday. Did you see Tanner Mordecai, transfer quarterback from SMU, now the quarterback at Wisconsin, try to play quarterback on Saturday? And that's at Wisconsin against Buffalo, who wants to shrink things a little bit. He sucked. He was ass.
He did juke that Buffalo kid out of his shoes.
He did, but he should have thrown like 100 picks in that game, and he did throw one that was really bad. One pass after he should have thrown a touchdown, by the way. But routinely, we learn this lesson. It's like, underestimate the Big Ten and the style of the play in the conference at your own peril. So I hope to God that everybody keeps saying that this week. I hope to God that everybody keeps saying, look at Nebraska. Look at the Big Ten. This is a slow, stinky conference. Look, even Ohio State, they only won, 24-3 or whatever, 23 to 30-3 or whatever it was. Michigan won 30-3 on set. Look at this conference. They can't score. They're not like Oregon. They can't win 81-7. No, but guess what? It hurts worse. It hurts worse afterwards. And so Nebraska gets to play the role of that team now, which I'm just incredibly excited for. They get to finally be part of the Big Ten Conference against the spread, air it out. We've changed the thought process on this over the last decade.
We love slow, fat guys now.
Are we pretending like that doesn't apply here? It absolutely applies.
Whoever can impose their will as far as their style of football in this game on Saturday will win. They'll simply that. It's too much of a contrast. And so I'm excited to be for Nebraska to be the representative of the Big Ten in this case. And I'm telling you, I want to play the Keyshawn clip like 47 more times. Like that's, well, with better audio.
Better audio.
Not just a screenshot of a video camera. But like, you know, it's come a long way in that category. Nebraska gets to play the part now. I'm excited for that on Saturday, as well as many things. The betting line I'm excited for as well. Alan Bell of Sportsline joins us next. We'll get the review of the first weekend of college football and a preview of, guess what? Josh, have you heard this? The NFL starts in 2 days.
I had a moment over the weekend where I went, wait a minute. The NFL starts on Thursday.
Correct.
Like this coming Thursday.
And today is Tuesday.
Yeah. Are you ready for Chiefs Lions America?
2 days. Chiefs Lions. As well as many other NFL games this weekend. I'm officially ready for the NFL to start. Alan Bell is as well. He'll join the show next on 1620 The Zone.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is and has always been locally owned and operated. Now, with 160 employee owners, chances are one of us lives in your neighborhood. We take pride in taking care of you, our customers, and keeping you comfortable all year round. And as always, our technicians don't have sales quotas. When other companies send salespeople, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Let It Fly Sports Bar is your elevated sports bar experience. Located in the Capital District in downtown Omaha, experience Let It Fly's unique brand of hospitality with 2 floors, 2 bars, 2 expansive outdoor patios, and an in-house podcast studio with live broadcasts of the Let It Fly show, hosted by me, Michael Severe, and Josh Jones. Host your next watch party, private event, or date night right here at the Let It Fly Sports Bar. Now open.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This cardboard order, is it up to date?
Camila's recyclable coffee cup factory can no longer be considered a grande.
Redesign? It's at the printer.
She needs more designers to jump the business to a triple shot.
Client wants to see several more design options. The logo's gotta be bigger.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Here's today's Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Husker football head coach Matt Rhule announced that Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda tore his ACL against Minnesota and that the team will need some skill position players to step up.
It's kind of all hands on deck. It'll be those young guys. We got Jalen in, got him on the reverse. Hoping Malachi, can help us. Obviously, we'll have Marcus now back full time. It'll just kind of be all hands on deck. We'll use all those guys.
Rhule said he wasn't surprised about their upcoming opponent, Colorado's performance against TCU, and has a tremendous amount of respect for their head coach, Deion Sanders.
He's won in everything he's done in football. He's won as a player. He's won as a coach. I think everyone maybe thinks like outside, not me. Everyone else thinks like, well, this is all a show, and that he's the most serious person about football. Like his poster was on people's walls for a reason as a player, because he's one of the hardest practicing, hardest playing people that's ever played the game, right? So why would we think that his team wouldn't be the same?
For The Zone, I'm Matt McMaster.
The Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Attention all you Husker football fans. This season, get ready to cheer on your Huskers like never before. Tickets for Less is offering an exclusive deal that'll have you jumping out of your seat. Use the promo code THEZONE and save big on Husker tickets for every game, home and away. From the electrifying home opener to intense conference matchups, Tickets for Less has you covered. Don't miss a single moment of the gridiron action. Visit ticketsforless.com today. Use promo code THEZONE and secure your seat to witness the Huskers live on the field this season. Hurry, this offer won't last forever.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Alan Bell. Sportsline. On the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Overreaction week in college football has arrived. That is, unless you're a Clemson fan, and then everything is warranted.
Yeah.
We're joined by Alan Bell now. Hi, AB.
What's up, buddy? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. This is a very, very exciting week for us. I could not be more excited to be here.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. Dude, like going from week 1 to week 2 it's fascinating because you see teams take big jumps forward. You see teams take big jumps back. And we get to my favorite part is that what I mean by all that is that all of like the ESPN hot takes, like just go right into freezing cold takes.
Oh
like,
yeah,
right after this week.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the exact same thing a week from today with the NFL. I can't. It's my favorite overreaction week of the year. So
all the 49ers finished.
Yes, remember they lost to the Bears in a monsoon last year, and everybody canceled them.
That's right, they did.
That was awesome. And then the Bears won 2 more games the rest of the year.
Time to fire Kyle Shanahan.
And they got the number 1 pick. All right. So you did a Nebraska tweet on Thursday. Like, I don't know how you guys handled this. And the response to that is we don't handle it very well anyway. Yeah. But watching Nebraska lose another close game in excruciating fashion on Thursday night, as I'm sure you were tuned in to, how did you feel watching that unfold?
Dude, I hated it, man. Like first off, I mean, we talked about it before the game last week, right? Like I was fired up about it, and I'm still fired up about Nebraska. I like Matt Rhule. I understand the way the game ended was brutal. However, I think there are things to take away from it, right? Like, I mean, I say that as being here in Tennessee, a Tennessee guy, I understand the pain. I've been through it. I went through it for 20 years, right? Like, I get it. I get new coaches. We went through a brand new head coach every 2 years, it seemed like, right? I mean, it was just painful, man. And I've seen those losses. I've lived those losses, and they hurt. However, I do think that Matt Rhule, there were a lot of good things to take away from that game, right? Like, those new head coach games can turn into blowouts in the first one quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, long story short, I could talk forever about it. I hated the way that it ended. For all Nebraska fans out there, Nebraska fans are awesome, awesome people, and I'm pulling for you, man. And, that's about all I can say.
Well, now we have the most intriguing matchup of all time because Nebraska just happens to be the next team to play Coach Prime's eventual national champion Colorado Buffaloes this week. At least if you watched any TV over the last 24 hours, that's what you would be thinking.
Like, what do we do with this? And have you ever seen a line go from, it was 8.5 for Nebraska before Nebraska plays their first game, and really before Colorado kicks off at 11 o'clock on Saturday. And now we have transitioned all the way to about 3 points for Colorado. So we're talking about 11 points in about the span of 24, 48 hours here. Have you ever seen anything like that?
It's crazy, right? Like, you don't really see that too often, you know? Look, man, like, honestly, like, I think that if anybody's ever going to play Colorado, this is the week to do it. Feeling themselves, you know, that locker room type. And look, I give Dion credit. Like,
yes,
dude
absolutely.
is a good coach. Like, he is. He gets people to believe, right? Like, that's the biggest thing, is he gets kids to believe. But I think Matt Rhule does the same thing. I think this is a great spot for Nebraska here. I would say if you're betting this game, this screams an under game.
I agree.
Yeah. Like, I think that, like, this is going to be a hard-fought game for, you know, Nebraska. I think Nebraska can score. I think, like, Colorado is going to find itself, like, it's not the same as what it was last week, right? Like, I think it's going to be a back-and-forth, you know, affair. I would take the under, and anytime that I do that, I would take the underdog as well. So, I mean, give me Nebraska +3. Give me the under. And look, man, like, I'm going to say it, like, it would not surprise me to see Nebraska win this game. It really wouldn't, because, you know, like we just talked about from week 1 to week 2, like, I don't think, like, Matt Rhule is not going to there's nobody quitting in that like at all. Like, not that was easy to discuss to begin with, but, like, I think that last week was a good motivating factor. And I think that you could see the opposite side on Colorado, where they come in just feeling themselves completely,
right,
and get punched in the mouth. So, yeah, man, like, I'm fired up for it.
So the number is 58.5. And like, so we're talking about each team, you know, if we're splitting it both ways, it's got to be 28, 29 points, 30 points apiece. Like, if Nebraska does at all their job and makes it their style of game, I mean, I don't even know if Nebraska has 4 touchdowns in them at this point. So, like, if Nebraska, if the under's hitting or if the over's hitting, Nebraska's probably getting blown out in this game, which is probably, I mean, it's on the table, but I do think the clash of styles will make for a really, really good football game, and I'm with you on the under.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, let me say this: like, we talked about, like, Colorado, and rightfully so. I mean, that was an unbelievable win. It's not like their defense was doing all that much. Like, we saw the Travis Hunter interception, and that was awesome. They gave up a lot of points. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, like, I think Nebraska can score. I think Nebraska's defense is going to give Colorado some fits. Matt Rhule's a smart dude. He's seen quarterbacks. You know, he's seen the Big 12 in terms of, you know, all of the basically offenses that have come through, not to mention the NFL, right? Like, there's nothing Dion's going to throw at him that he hasn't seen. So I'm with you, man. Like, this screams under to me.
Okay, let's go to the NFL. We have these beautiful, beautiful week 1 lines. We got a football game in, like, you know, 50 hours. And it's the Chiefs and the Lions opening up. Chiefs are a 6.5 point favorite. Basically, when you look across the board, what are you looking at to get in early? And could there be some movement throughout the week on some of these? It's because, I mean, what you usually see in week 1 is like a lot of 2.5s and 3s. There's some touchdowns. There's 110 in there, and it's Baltimore and Houston. But we're basically talking about a touchdown or less with across the board here at this point. What do you like?
So, all right, yeah, you're not going to see too terribly much of movement. What you just said, you're going to see numbers move 2.5, 3, down to 2.5. Like,
right,
it's going to be people basically playing that key number 3. Like, whatever it goes up, it's going to go down. People are just going to play, you know, both sides, right? The big thing is that look how many divisional games that we have, right? Like, we have a lot of teams in the same division playing each other in week 1. And historically in the NFL, I think in the last 15 years or something, like, whenever teams play, you know, a divisional rival in week 1, the underdog is covered in like 76% or something around it. Like, a crazy high number. And especially if you're seeing any 3.5s, and especially if they're at home.
I see 8 divisional games on the first
8.
week. Yeah.
That's huge. Like, that's a ton of them. You know what I mean? Like,
that's half the league. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's a ton of them, right? So, I mean, like, Bengals, Browns, keep an eye on that one. Giants, Cowboys. Even though, the Cowboys, they can score, man. Like, I'm fascinated to see them. But, yeah, man, like, just in general, like, if you played all 8, you'd probably come out ahead, right? Number 2, games where you have teams that have questions offensively on both sides, but have decent defenses. What sticks out to me the most? Titans and Saints. Okay, Titans brand new offensive coordinator. None of their starters played in the preseason. I mean, I don't even know if Derrick Henry was in the state. The same thing with Ryan Tannehill, right? You look at the Saints. All right, brand new quarterback. Okay, and Derek Carr, but both teams have pretty good defense. I like the under in that game. And then lastly, my favorite play of all time, first half under between the 49ers and the Steelers. Okay? The 49ers with Brock Purdy aren't going to try anything except run the football and throw the football to tight ends and Christian McCaffrey, right? The Steelers are going to run the football. Both of these teams know you can't win the game in the first half, but you could definitely lose it if you make a stupid decision. I think that this first half might last 17 minutes. It's just running the football, man. Like, I think it's going to be low scoring because both defenses, especially the defensive line, are excellent, right? So, yeah, man. Like, I think it's going to be super low scoring.
The number in the first half for that game is 20.5. I like first half unders in general. I like first half unders in week 1. I always play first half unders in like the first week of the playoffs. And I think it's just an NFL thing. I just generally like first half unders. And then it gets close in the second half, and all of a sudden the points start popping off.
Absolutely, right? And especially, look at it. Like teams don't play starters at all in the preseason.
Yeah.
At all. Right? So it's like, like the Chiefs, like at their offense, I'm not concerned about, time to blow this thing up. Like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of rust, right? But you don't need a lot of rust because the clock flies, dude. So I'm with you, man. If there's ever a time, we want to.
Okay, so going through what you said there about the divisional games. So I have the Browns are divisional home dogs. We have the Colts are divisional home dogs. The Patriots. No, they're not in a divisional game. The Giants are a divisional home dog. The Jets are a divisional home dog. And I guess that would be it for week 1. So there's a few of them that are on the board right there.
Yeah, it's fascinating. But like Browns Bengals, especially with Joe Burrow, having the injury situation, right? Like I could see that. Like I could see that one being just kind of classically low scoring, right? The Giants and the Cowboys, fascinated to see that because the Giants, I think they got better, but I think that the Cowboys are going to be pretty motivated, right? So that one scares me a little bit. Jaguars and Colts, I don't trust the Colts at all. Like, it's so hard to trust them.
I know.
But the Jets, like, they got a good defense, right? Like, I think that the underdog role, Browns probably screams my favorite.
All I know is I'm ready on Sunday to sit on my butt. And actually, I'm going to turn on what I do every year in week 1 is I turn on Red Zone like 15 minutes too early. And then I just listen to the music. And then when Scott Hansen comes on and he says 7 hours of commercial-free football, I just lay back. And there's probably a nap in there somewhere. I just cannot wait till Sunday.
Dude, I know, right? Like, it's going to be awesome. And that music, you're right, dude. It's very, it's like lo-fi house chill music. It's nice, dude. It's relaxing.
So good. Can't wait till, by the way, you got a pick for Thursday night for Chiefs and Lions, 6.5 points for the Chiefs.
Okay, so can I give you a stat real quick?
Yes.
All right, so these two teams in week 1 overs are the 2 best in NFL history. The last 12 years in week 1 games, the Lions, that game has hit the over in all 12. The Chiefs, 10 of 12. That said,
wow,
I'm going under. I think it's going to be like 27-21, something like that. Like, I don't want to mess with the spread, but I think under 54.5. What do you think?
54.5, and then Kansas City minus 6.5. Hey, look, if you're zagging with that much historical like context behind it, I'm gonna roll with you. You must have
We're
real
zagging.
feeling.
We're zagging.
I love it. AB, appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend, man.
I appreciate it, brother. You too, man.
Al Belv Sportsline, 2 times a year where I can think of that I sit in front of my couch and I'm just so ready for I not in front of my couch, that'd be weird. On my couch, in front of my TV, and I turn the TV on way early because I'm just so ready for the day, and it's more of a production than anything else. Like it's about an opening day. Maybe sometimes baseball season, but I'm usually here. I'm in this seat when baseball season starts because it's during the week and it's during the show. But first weekend of the NFL, I flip it on Red Zone like way too early, and I just want to listen to the music. And then when the countdown hits 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, let's go. But I'm already there. And then when March Madness starts, I watch the last 10 minutes of Price is Right. I watch Showcase Showdown. And then, it turns over to whoever's doing the show on CBS. It's awesome.
I can almost guarantee that as we enter week 1 of the NFL season, Sunday morning, Scott Frost will not be fired and ruin our first week of the NFL season.
So sad to be taken away from that.
That phone rang at like 12:15, and I knew, and I just knew, my day is over,
God,
isn't it?
Can you believe that, though? I didn't even realize that when 8 divisional games this weekend?
Nope, didn't have a clue.
I'm just looking at the slate. So let me just make sure. Count with me. Carolina, Atlanta.
Yep.
Cincinnati, Cleveland. Yep. Jacksonville, Indy. Rams, Seahawks. Yep. Packers, Bears.
Sure.
Giants, Cowboys.
Yeah.
Bills, Jets. Okay, so maybe that's 7, 6, 7?
7, yes. 7.
Maybe I missed one somewhere in there. But anyway, I mean that's sizable for week 1. Let me just sit right on down. Take some unders this weekend. Why not? Nothing like taking some unders to get the juices flowing. All right, thanks to AB. We will return with the odd news. There has been a story that sometimes, every once in a while, there's a story that really transcends the odd news and it becomes news. But we know deep down it is an odd news story. But it has gained so much popularity, we do have to feature it prominently on this segment. Somebody did something on a plane.
Generally, plain news makes the odd news because of who I'm sitting across from.
This one's a little different. Next,
God, I hope so.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
If there's a snail crawling towards me inside of the Omaha NRG studio, it's not going to be any other snail. That's just the one snail. But when Nick and I bring a bag full of snails and dump them at your feet, I'm not working with you two yahoos anymore.
Snail pickup. I'm not gonna work with you anymore.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Can't rule out a spotty shower or storm Tuesday morning as a cold front moves through. Let's expect mostly sunny and breezy conditions with gusts up to 25 miles per hour possible. Highs will top out around 90. Northwest winds ramp up in the evening. Temperatures dropping around 60 by Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone. Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is from Vallis Pumpkin Patch and Apple Orchard. Get 2 anytime passes for the price of 1. An $88 value for just $44. Over 50 attractions are included. The Pumpkin Eating Dragon, the Pig Races, the Carousel, the Egg Spinner, the Barnyard Challenge Course, and more. Vallis Pumpkin Patch opens September 15th.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wow, that happened way too fast. One day you drop them off for their first day of kindergarten, and now they have their driver's license. So stop into Gretna Auto Outlet to find the perfect first set of wheels for your new driver. At Gretna Auto Outlet, you'll find a great selection of quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs with financing available to nearly every buyer. Take a look at GretnaAuto.com or swing by Gretna Auto Outlet just north of Nebraska Crossing on Highway 6 in Gretna, Omaha's next door neighbor.
PACE, Police Athletics for Community Engagement Organization, is dedicated to preventing at-risk and disadvantaged inner-city children from becoming involved in street gangs, crime, drug use, and victimization. Last year, PACE served over 5,000 area kids with wholesome competition and free participation in soccer, baseball, CrossFit, and flag football. To help PACE and local families make sure kids have access to safe and fun spring and summer activities, please go to paceomaha.org to support the PACE mission. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Cougar Vision. Let us talk about the three most surprising things about modern LASIK at Cougar Vision. The first, how fast that LASIK procedure is. With Cougar Vision's leading edge technology, we're talking just a few minutes per eye. Incredibly speedy. And how about this for number two, how comfortable the procedure is. So often from their patients, they hear, wait, that's it? It's over? They make sure that you are relaxed and comfortable, as well as knowing exactly what is happening. And this, for number three, how quickly you can get back to normal life. Patients typically drive themselves to Cougar Vision the very next day for their follow-up visit. So you're back in action less than 24 hours later. Cougar Vision right now, they have special pre-summer savings on modern LASIK or any of their other advanced vision correction procedures. If you've ever thought about fixing your bad vision, the Cougar Vision Eye Analysis is your first step. Do so today. Schedule one online at cougarvision.com.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Johnson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Also to look forward to this weekend from a betting perspective, if you like betting unders. The over-under right now for El Assico, a.k.a. the Cyhawk.
Yeah.
36.5.
Ooh. Now, Iowa scored 24 over the weekend against one of the worst defenses from last year.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. Iowa State did not bludgeon Northern Iowa.
Is that game at 11? Because I don't know. No, it's
so.
no. I think it's on right after.
Oh, right after Nebraska versus Coach Prime.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check for sure.
Okay.
Iowa. 2:30 on Fox.
Oh,
it is directly after.
Rolling right in.
Uh-huh. The nation will be on Coach Prime alert, and Iowa will be visiting Iowa State. It's a 4-point favorite.
Man.
36.5 over and under.
Just the contrasting aesthetics of Colorado followed by El Assico.
I love college football. And we also have Texas and Alabama this weekend, if you like hype.
Yeah.
So that one will be cool as well. Still no AP poll, by the way. I don't know when that's supposed to come out. Maybe I was wrong on the 11 o'clock thing. It usually comes out at 11 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe it's different this week. Odd news, Josh. What do we got?
Odd news. We begin with college football.
Really?
Yeah, there were some odd scenes in college football this weekend.
Like what?
a fully clothed Robert Griffin III jumping into a bottle of water and splitting his pants.
He jumped into a bottle of water? What does that mean?
Body of water.
Oh, okay.
Griffin was on assignment for ESPN. He was working the Washington-Boise State game. He was talking up Michael Penix Jr., who, I think he could be drafted coming up.
He good?
During a stand-up, which he did on a boat for some reason.
Well, because that's how you watch football in Washington. You boat gate. You do. It's true.
He talked up
We know
Penix
this.
in Washington for making waves.
Oh.
And he said, speaking of making waves, he was going to make a splash. And you could just see it coming from a mile away. He's going to jump in this water.
Sometimes I think RG3's trying too hard. Sometimes I think, you know what? This is funny. And it's really, really quite the pendulum. It just kind of goes back and forth for me.
It's not 100% hit rate, but you're going to take the good with the bad with him.
I guess so. Yes.
And he split his pants as he jumped into that body of water.
It's always funny. 100% of the time. Guy splits his pants. It's funny.
Poll question. Guy splitting his pants open.
Yes.
100% funny.
100%. You want me to get that one up there?
Yeah,
I certainly can.
However you'd like to word it.
Is a guy splitting his pants funny 100% of the time?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I would have to vote yes. Just gut reaction.
Going up.
Now, is that funnier than Mark Ingram riding into Big Noon Kickoff on a horse? Because that also happened this weekend.
That one feels like a definite try too hard.
Yeah.
I thought Urban Meyer macking on chicks was going to be part of this. Did you see this? Did you hear about this?
I did not, but have several follow-up questions.
So there's a video that surfaced of, Big Noon was coming back from a break, and they did kind of a wide shot of the desk, and then they were zooming in. And as they were zooming in, they didn't need Urban for the segment, but he was off to the side of the stage talking to two young women.
Oh no.
Go ahead and give that a little Twitter search real quick. I would like to get your live reaction to this. Just type in Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer.
Just type in Urban Meyer. It'll probably be right there.
Urban Meyer, professional shooter.
Yeah, this will be the one. And there he is.
Oh.
And now, I don't know what was going on there. But
it.
It is funny given just what we know about Urban Meyer and his history with...
Oh, those are short shorts those young ladies are wearing.
Yeah.
You can't be talking to them, Urban. I love the video I'm watching.
He can.
It's captioned with LOL Urban Meyer. Never not dirt balling.
You got to throw that game down. I appreciate it. Good, nice job by Urban. He's got to stay true to himself.
Oh, that's a brand that he's carved out for himself, for better or worse.
I think he's trying to get rid of it, but
finally, a lot of people would like my thought. Oh,
one thing. We have an update. Thank you from it's from Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
I'm going to trust Anthony.
Oh yeah, you got to trust Anthony.
So the AP poll comes out at 2 Eastern today. So the AP poll will come out at 1 o'clock. And it's at that point we will find out that Colorado is ranked number 13 in the country.
A lot of people have asked for me to recap the events at Burning Man this weekend.
No, skip it.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. What's going on at Burning Man?
Tens of thousands.
I want to get to the diarrhea.
You were ending on diarrhea, of course. Poll question: we're ending on diarrhea, of course. Yes or no? Tens of thousands of attendees were waiting to weather the muddy conditions at this year's Burning Man, as it rained in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And many people couldn't get out because it was so muddy. That led Chris Rock, Chris Rock,
the Chris Rock,
and Diplo,
Diplo,
to hike several miles until they could find they hitched a ride after that. They could get to a better road where they then hitched a ride.
What a pair.
Home. A fan offered, this is Diplo speaking, a fan offered Chris Rock and I a ride out of Burning Man in the back of a pickup. He said on Instagram, after walking 6 miles through the mud, all Chris could think about was bleeping cold brew. Footage of the passengers whizzing through the Nevada desert does indeed show Chris Rock saying, "If I could get a cold brew right now."
What the hell's going on? Why is Chris Rock at Burning Man?
I don't know. On the IG story, Diplo wrote in captions, "I legit walked the side of the road for hours with my thumb out because I have a show in DC tonight and I didn't want to let any of y'all down. Also, shout out to this guy for making the smart purchase of a truck, not knowing if it was for this exact moment."
It definitely wasn't. He just had a truck.
Yeah.
That's how normal people work.
I'm going to buy a truck, and maybe one day Diplo and Chris Rock will need a ride.
Maybe one day it'll be muddy at Burning Man. That's the most rich person thing I've ever said. He's like, he thought that there was a chance that guy bought a truck specifically for that occasion. No, you buy a truck because you want to buy a truck.
After the rain created treacherous conditions, a shelter-in-place order was put upon the attendees at Burning Man. I will remind you, it's the desert. I don't know where you would shelter. But the festival goers were also asked to conserve food, water, and fuel.
Wow.
That's what you get when you want to do drugs in the desert instead of your own home.
Chris M wants to hear your thoughts on the porta potty fight. There was I did see this at the Morgan Wallen concert of all places.
Yeah. Well,
no, we don't have to do that.
It's very on brand for that fan base.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Finally, we end in Atlanta, Connor, where a Delta pilot made an emergency landing back to the city of departure when a passenger's loose bowels.
Atlanta was the city of departure.
Yes. When the passenger's loose bowels resulted in diarrhea all the way through the plane.
All the way through the plane.
A supposed snippet of the pilot's call was shared on social media.
I heard it.
Delta Flight 194 was on its way from Atlanta to Barcelona.
Correct. Long flight.
Friday evening. The group left Atlanta just before 8:30 p.m. The flight tracker shows that the typically 8 to 9 hour flight ended 6 hours early as they were back in Atlanta at 10:40 p.m. The pilot can be heard saying over the radio, quote,
"It's biohazard.
It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all throughout the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta." Delta did not confirm the details, but issued the following statement. Delta Flight 194 from Atlanta to Barcelona returned to Atlanta following an onboard medical issue. Our teams worked as quickly and safely as possible to get our customers to their final destination. We sincerely apologize to our customers for the delay and inconvenience.
Honestly,
to their travel
just
plans.
crash the plane at that point. just run it into the ground.
No.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
I mean, how many people vomited?
So many.
And
there's nothing you could do. You're out in the middle of the ocean. You can't just land somewhere else. You got to go back to Atlanta.
Well, we either have to press forward and finish this flight, or we got to go back
Oh,
all the way back.
God. The worst thing I've ever heard. So, yes. It's another one of those stories that you will hear on other places today, but it was made for the odd news.
It sure was.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor. And when you think of diarrhea, please think of me.
When we return, I don't know. People are triggered, obviously, going into this weekend. But I found something that may send you over the top.
Oh, no.
And it involves credit where credit is due. But, all right, I've blown this tease already.
Credit's due. Credit?
Why do people think this game is sold out this weekend and it costs a lot of money to get into the football game? It's not because of Nebraska fans anymore.
Oh, no.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620, The Zone.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Hi, this is Kathy Canoyer with Canoyer Garden Center. The beauty of fall is in our greenhouses, featuring a variety of Canoyer-grown fall product that will allow you to create a gorgeous fall container or arrangement. Come in and talk with our family of employees who will help you find what you're looking for. Whether it's home decor, fall annuals, perennials, or shrubs, we will help you beautify your home. Canoyer Garden Center is located between Highway 370 and Cornhusker on 66th Street in Papillion.
At Canoyer Garden Center, everybody's got a green thumb.
Open daily 10 to 6.
Hey, folks, is your concrete in need of repair? Kent Pavelka here to talk about your local concrete experts and a Best of Omaha winner, Everlevel Concrete Repair. They can completely restore and repair your concrete at a fraction of the price compared to replacement and offer long-term transferable warranties. I'm so glad I chose Everlevel for my driveway. There's a reason they're a Best of Omaha winner. Give them a call for your free inspection. That's Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel. Try saying that 3 times fast.
The Omaha Mavericks volleyball team is playing one of the most challenging schedules in NCAA Division I volleyball. They continue this weekend with the MH Hospitality Omaha Challenge at Baxter Arena. The Mavericks will face crosstown rival Creighton on Friday at 7 p.m. The challenge also includes games against Iowa State and Long Beach State. Get your tickets now for this game or any other Mavericks home game by going to omavs.com/tickets or call the box office at 402-554-MAVS.
Did you put off getting that living space you wanted this summer? Well, don't worry. Patera Landscaping can make sure you still have a wonderful fall with a fresh new patio. Picture yourself being the host of the year, cooking steaks or burgers in your new outdoor kitchen. And save some time to snuggle around your new fire pit. Patera Landscaping, Omaha's best, can make that happen. Go to pateralandscaping.com.
If you want a perfect landscape, call Patera.
All right, here's a tweet from On3 at On3 Sports 14 minutes ago. The cheapest ticket for Nebraska at Colorado on Saturday night is going for $400 on StubHub. This emoji, Josh, whatever this, watch along with us on YouTube. What, I don't know what that means. Like, ooh, like surprise emoji? Ooh.
Yeah.
One of those. Hashtag Prime Effect. Now, I will say this. There has been, I would assume, some increased interest from Colorado fans attempting to buy their tickets back from Nebraska fans.
Yeah, Nebraska fans, if you're scared, now's the time to make a profit.
Double down.
Yep.
No. You can't sell them. You can't sell them back. Don't make a profit off this. It's time to double down. Dive headfirst into the waters. Go into the snake pit. Don't sell your tickets back. Come on. We should talk about this for a couple minutes. What do you think the crowd will be like on Saturday?
Hostile.
Absolutely. It will be so much fun, potentially dangerous, but really fun to be there.
I'm take my family to the game. Let's go, kids. Don't take the children.
Yeah, this is like a young adult environment, yes. I think. And not that everything has to be for like young adults, but like this is going to be an adult environment.
It's going to offend the olds. It's going to offend the youngs.
I've been told that there is, I'm sure this is easily accessible information, but there is a Drake concert in Denver on Friday. Drizzy. So what does that make the odds that Drizzy Drake will make an appearance in Colorado's locker room or at Folsom Field at some point on Saturday? I think it probably makes it pretty high, probably makes it pretty good. Maybe he'll visit with Matt Rhule or something like that. I don't know. But this obviously has changed the scenario quite a bit here. This has gone from, look, Nebraska fans are going to take over again. Now, Colorado fans, if we go back, Colorado fans have already been emboldened because they believe in everything that Coach Prime says. Do you believe now? Everybody believes. But Nebraska fans, I think, were probably underestimated in the first place because even though Colorado fans were emboldened to start with before the win on Saturday, Nebraska fans were still probably the majority owners of the tickets on Saturday. Has that changed? Nebraska has now lost a football game. People are wondering on if they should jump off cliffs or not. And Colorado has won. And the Colorado fans may be even more emboldened. I need to be there for Coach Prime's first home game. It is going to be a spectacle. And it will be on Saturday. But make no mistake about it. The tickets were originally, the tickets have already been incredibly expensive for this game, as has been well documented by this and many other shows, because of Nebraska fans. Come on.
We coming.
We got to get some credit here. This is not just like, oh, whoa, these tickets are now super duper expensive. No, they've been that way for the entirety of the last year because Nebraska fans are insane and they decided to buy them all up. They would go to incredible lengths to buy tickets to this game. I just hope that you held on to them because now you're sitting in it. Like Josh said, there's even more value attached to these tickets now, even more value. But I'm saying if you're wearing red and you're traveling to the game on Saturday and you're approached by a Buff fan who's like, look, I'll pay you just whatever name your price, name your number. You must stand tall. You must say no.
Price.
Get your way into that football game because there needs to be some red. Will there be as much red as there was last time? I don't think so. I don't think so. But Nebraska fans have always met the challenge. We'll see. A phone call from the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. This is David on the line. Hi, David.
Hey, fellas. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So I had a story about going to a Colorado game, but something else I just want to throw out there. You guys talk about it after. Does it bother you guys that they are now pulling coaches away and they're interviewing while the game is going on?
Yes, it
Seems like
does.
that's every game.
We talked about this on the Overreaction show on Thursday night. It's so weird. I don't get why we're bending the knee to the TV networks this much, but I guess we are.
No, it seems like they are kind of distracted. So we need Bo Pelini to hit him with a hat. But speaking of anger, when I was a freshman at UNL, we snuck to Colorado for the Nebraska-Colorado game. And it was the year that Sal the year after Sal passed away.
Oh.
And we're in a van, we're pre-gaming. It's like we're, surrounded by people, going to the game and, pre-gaming, having adult beverage or two. And suddenly a brick gets thrown through our windshield. So we all spill out of the car like seconds later. And there's a police officer not but 5 feet away from the front of the van. So he stood there the entire time, watched it. We ran up to him. We're like, dude, somebody just threw this brick through the windshield. And he tilted his sunglasses down, looked at our van, and I swear he had a toothpick in his mouth. And he pulled a toothpick out. He goes, yeah, you should probably take those Nebraska plates off.
Oh,
and then walked away.
No way.
So watched somebody smash a brick through our car and then let him walk away and then told us to take the plates off. So yeah, if you're going, wear red underneath, but bring something that you can cover it up because when you're walking to and from, you might get hassled. But yeah, let's have a red out for sure.
Goodness, David. Thank you for the call. That sounds like something they would say just to get the point across in a movie that this place is a really hostile place where the cops are on the other side too. Ooh, it's uh-oh. Josh, what's this? What's going on? You're hovering over something.
I was going to let you finish.
Yeah. It just sounds like one of those things that is made up, but I believe, David, that's a firsthand thing.
It's not the AP poll, Connor, but the coaches poll is out.
Well, what do the coaches think of the Buffs?
Number 25, Colorado.
And just to be clear, Nebraska not ranked, right?
I have not confirmed that.
Where are you getting this information? Where are you getting this coaches poll information? Coachespoll.com or something?
Brian Howell, who covers the Buffs for Boulder Daily, is tweeting that. Michigan tweeted a snazzy graphic that they're ranked second in the coaches poll.
Oh, that's nice. Quick question from the text line from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Says, I'm going to the game. My work is paying for everything. Should I sell the tickets and make some money?
Wow, your work is sending you to the Colorado game?
All right, Josh.
What?
All right.
What?
So you're met with a real dilemma here. Because you want to go to the game, you want to wear red, you want to do the whole thing. But this is a real moneymaker. This is a real opportunity. You could cash in big time.
I say you ask for a big number, and if you get it, take it.
Somebody might, somebody who has less ethics might say, Daddy needs a new TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big one. And a sound system with it.
And if you don't get your number, you go. You have a nice time.
Yep.
Chris on the YouTube chat.
Hi, Chris.
Just make sure you sell it to another Nebraska fan.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Going to have to verify with zip codes, just like NHL teams in the playoffs.
We got another text that I want to get to from earlier. It was sort of a well thought out text from the text line.
Oh, that's rare. Yeah, we should read that.
Regarding ways to build programs and things like that. I'd have to go back and find it, but it's in there somewhere. So we'll get to that when we return. It's Nebraska, Colorado week. Get ready. This is the whole week. We still got Matt Rhule stuff that we can get to. Matt Rhule. Players, by the way, are talking right now. Omar Brown called Coach Prime the GOAT DB, which I would have a hard time arguing.
Yeah, hard to argue that point.
We'll come back with more next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. The NFL season starts this week. We are just a couple days away from Chiefs and Lions. You got to get in on these incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5, just $5, will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. Yeah, I know, Josh. It's crazy. The app, it's easy to use, and you can bet on anything and everything, point spreads, player props, anything in between. Visit FanDuel.com/Happer and kick off this NFL season with an offer that you do not want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 and over, present in Iowa. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes imply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's 2 locations in Benson and the Old Market. It's not just about getting a cone or maybe a couple of scoops. Call ahead and get your refrigerator, freezer filled with Ted and Wally's ice cream. We're talking about getting quarts or half gallons. All you have to do is call ahead and tell them that's what you want. Over 3,000 flavors, so whatever you're looking for, they have it. And if you have some special needs, if you're lactose intolerant or you're worried about keto, they'll help you as well. Over 3,000 flavors, 2 locations. Tell them Severe sent you.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is and has always been locally owned and operated. Now, with 160 employee owners, chances are one of us lives in your neighborhood. We take pride in taking care of you, our customers, and keeping you comfortable all year round. And as always, our technicians don't have sales quotas. When other companies send salespeople, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the most time-honored tradition to start the weekend, grabbing a cold one from a local Nebraska brewery. Let's be real here. It's hot outside, and you don't want to drink the same boring beer as those Hawkeye fans. Drink icy cold, Nebraska-brewed beer, cider, or seltzers instead. Each week, we're putting the spotlight on a unique Nebraska brewery with One Beer Friday. Share your brew on social media with the hashtag One Beer Friday, and you'll be entered to win a $25 gift card to a local Nebraska brewery. Nebraska is the good life with great beer. Click nebraska.beer to learn more.
Nick Handley here for DJ's Dugout here in Nebraska. We love this time of year. It's football season, baby! When it comes to watching football, there's no better place than DJ's Dugout. It's an Omaha tradition to gather with family and friends to watch the game at DJ's and cheer for your team. Plus, great food, great drinks, and great service. Voted Omaha's #1 sports bar, DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All right, once again, as Josh mentioned, Colorado is number 25 in the coaches poll that came out this week. So 1-11 last year, 1-0 this year, ranked. And we'll see where the AP poll comes out in about 30 minutes here, which it seems like they're on track to being ranked. The truth's got to be somewhere in the middle, right?
No disrespect to the Buffs.
No, I say this with the utmost respect to the Buffs and what they have done. I don't know if they're particularly deserving of a top 25 spot, but respectfully, of course, Josh.
I think they are because it doesn't matter. It's week 2. Yeah, sure. Rank
Okay.
them. That's fine.
Yeah, rank whoever you want. It's week 2. All right. A couple texts here from the 402.
Hi, 402.
What are my thoughts on a couple things? Connor, would love to hear your take if Rhule is married to Sims this year, if he has another multiple pick game, or will he make a quarterback change to right the ship this season? Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say as we go. I wouldn't say he's married to him, like in the sense of like in the bad sense. Like we oftentimes use that in the negative sense, right? Like, yeah, he hitched his wagon to Sims and now he's too stubborn to like. I don't think it's that. I think he's going to be the quarterback because he's the best option at quarterback. Like that's it. That's kind of the story. If he throws 3 picks again, maybe they sit him down. Like I don't know, but I think he's in the game. He's Nebraska starter, and he got a single-digit number because he's really, really valuable to this team. Like I said, he spent some time being Nebraska's most detrimental player on Thursday night. He was also, for the majority of the game, their best and their most valuable offensive player. For the record, I don't think we're anywhere close to that conversation. The other text was this, and this has been a national topic over the last 24, 48 hours here. Oh. Connor, did Colorado and Texas State give the new blueprint to college football this weekend? A new coach comes in, and instead of fixing what can't be fixed, fire the entire team and at least get the guys you want from day one in the door. Players with NIL are basically employees at this point. I know this is not a popular opinion, but if it works, it works. Anymore, you have a coach come in with a scheme, and maybe you get lucky if you're, 10 to 20 guys you want in year one, so on. The rest you're trying to fix what can be fixed. You sort of lost me at the end there, but I get the point. Which is this the new way to build a college football team? And I just think there's a lot of different things at play here. So bear with me as I sift through them. Number one, my God, let's calm down. All right. Let's calm down.
There was no video, no footage of what Texas State and Colorado were going to do. And they implemented their strategies very well.
But it's the first week. It's the first week. Like, if it depends on what you're shooting for. Like, what are you going for? Are you trying to get it off the ground quick? Or are you trying to build something to last? Nebraska made the right, if this comes back to Nebraska, which I suspect it does, because as most things do, Nebraska made the right hire for Nebraska. Nebraska made the right hire because the guy checks a lot of boxes that we want to have checked. And the athletic director, more specifically, wants to have checked to build a program that lasts a long time. And maybe it will be proven out that Colorado or Texas State, they've fired their entire team and they've brought in new guys and they jumpstart it so much that it does sustain. Maybe that will be the case with this thing. But let's not close that book all the way yet. Let's not say, hey, look, this works. Lock, stock. That's it. This just works. So that's the first part of it.
Well, I did read an article today that Texas State's game this weekend against UTSA at the Alamo Dome, the tickets are through the roof because people want to see Texas State now.
Number two. Phone. Number two. Sorry, I don't have my light turned around today. I would have had that. Make it really obvious. There, now I'm going to flash it. The second thing is this is a way to build a college football program. This is a way that we haven't seen it done before, but this is a way that you could build a college football program. It does not make it automatically better than all of the other ways to build. So I guess, it sort of relates back to the first part. Like, number one, it's not done yet. Number two, there's a lot of different ways to build things. And like Matt Rhule's way is specifically designed, yes, to take a little bit more time. And he thinks that if they do it their way, it will end up as a more sustainable model. Will that be the case? I don't know. There's no guarantees that any way works. Scott Frost had a way. They couldn't execute it. Matt Rhule has his way. They have executed it before. Will it work here? Who knows? It might not. Dion's coached one game at Coach Prime. Excuse me. All the respect.
Yeah, no disrespect to the Buffs.
He's coached one game at Colorado. It may work, but we do have to leave open the possibility that it may not. So that's probably one of the more crazy things that's getting said today nationally. Like, this is the new way to build a college football program. That's one of the more over-the-top things that I've seen. They won one game against TCU, and there's questions about what TCU is going to be this year. And there should still be questions about what Colorado is going to be this year. Are they going to win? Are they going to win 5 games? Are they going to win 6 games? If they win 9 or 10, we'll all be really impressed, and we'll have to take a really deep dive at this. We'll have to really look at this and say, whoa, hey, maybe there is an avenue here. But the interesting thing about Coach Prime and the way that he was doing things was always the idea that nobody has ever done this before. That's why they're interesting. Is it an option? Yeah, it's an option in this day and age. It is an option because you have NIL and you have the transfer portal.
Colorado,
but it doesn't make it doesn't make it better. I want to be very clear about this. It's not automatically better.
Yeah.
It's just another way. And credit them for letting us see another way.
Sure. Colorado would have to score twice as many points to beat Oregon.
Right.
Because Oregon scored 81 points.
81 points.
And that's based on one game, that's who Oregon is. They're going to score 81 points every week.
They're the team that averages 81 points now.
You are what you are in week 1, and you cannot change. Oklahoma will not allow a point all season.
Yep. Ohio State's offense sucks.
Brian Ferentz will fall comically short of his goal.
He will fall exactly 1 point short. Or 1 point on average, I guess, short. To the phones from the 42 Degrees, the Source hotline. We have Joe in Phoenix. Hi, Joe.
Well, actually, I'm just leaving Phoenix, Vegas, boys. But
oh, that's cool. What are you leaving? What'd you put some bets in on?
Well, it's funny you ask. So Wednesday afternoon when I got here, Nebraska was a 9-point favorite at the Circus Sportsbook for Colorado. And I just had this weird feeling. I don't know why, but I said, let's take Colorado in the 9 points. And now, after the Nebraska game on that day, went back down, and Nebraska was then favored by 8.5. And by the time I got back down there on Sunday, just to see where it was, Colorado was now a 5-point favorite.
5? Really? You saw it at 5?
Yeah. Well, I didn't take it. I initially made the bet taking Colorado and getting 9.
Right. But I haven't seen it as a 5 point. I've only seen it as high as like 3.5 so far.
Yeah, it was 5 Sunday morning.
That's crazy. Well, good bet then. You got some real value there, Joe.
I got the good one. Let's preface this first. I'm 51 years old, so I remember back in the 80s with Bill McCartney and all that jazz that went on, and then obviously in the mid-90s. And I had mentioned to the boys in the afternoon that this was the game. Remember when they were talking about you could pick 2 games to win for sure, or 1 game to win for sure, 1 game to lose, and then you see where we go?
Yeah.
This was the game that I picked that I did not want to lose again. And I don't want to sit here and say that I'm concerned, because I am. My big fear for this thing is strictly, is our defense better? I think it is. But I'm also thinking, I don't know if we can guard 4 wide receivers. And Sanders, his speed with his feet alone scares me. And I just don't think if it turns into a shootout, Nebraska's got the horsepower to keep up. But I'm not one of these idiots that's on the message board already saying fire Rhule.
That's good.
Or, Rhule's on the hot seat. I think that's asinine. I think that the offensive coordinator hire, I was always a little suspect of that. But I also don't think after 1 game you say, well, he wasn't the right choice either. I mean, I would go as far as to say, as long as you got Frost players there that were part of this thing for the last 2 or 3 years, and I don't know how many of those are actually left on the team, I think it's going to be hard to coach out of them the things that we saw again on Thursday. But the thing that's encouraging from what my understanding of it is, we got close to 40 freshmen on board, and we got close to, I think, wasn't it more than 70% of the roster was either freshman or redshirt freshmen?
Yeah, it's a large chunk. Yeah.
So I understand this premise. Let the Nebraska boys that have been here for a while play and yada yada yada. But I would say this: if this starts to become a trend again, I would not be against pulling those guys out and getting the young guys some experience. And I don't want to say trashing the season, but I think if we lose one of the first 2 home games, and then obviously lose to Michigan, you're looking at potentially 1-4. I think at that point you could really start to sit there and say to yourself, okay, we tried. So now let's just do the full Temple Baylor thing, and let's get all the young guys in, and let's build experience that way and move forward. He's there for 90 years. We're ever going to get it turned around. That might be the way. I don't know.
Hey, Joe, thanks for the call. Enjoy your. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely.
All right.
Good one.
There you go. Sorry, I couldn't listen to the driving anymore.
Maybe you roll your windows up when you talk to us, everybody.
Enjoy the drive back to Phoenix, Joe. Got some good value there on Colorado.
Definitely.
Sounds like. I hope there may be a time this year where the rubber meets the road on that, and you have to sort of make a decision. I think the freshmen are sort of part of the plan from the beginning. I don't know if they're like it's not the primary part, as we started to hear during camp, right? But you heard, well, you haven't heard it yet because we haven't played it yet, but we'll come back with a little bit of this. I think he wants some freshman wide receiver to show up. We saw a flash of Jalen Lloyd. Maybe we'll see a flash of Malachi Coleman this week. But I mean, I don't know if it's for the explicit purpose of like we have to build for the future, but they need to find some playmakers somewhere. And if they're going to try some guys out, how many guys they play on defense on Thursday? Like they played like 18 on the first drive. It was like well over 20 guys on the defensive side of the ball, and it wasn't all young guys either. But I'm just saying, like they're gonna play some guys for the sake of development, but it's not just like, hey, we're trashing the season. And God, I hope they're not 1-4 after Michigan. But is it on the table? I don't know. I think they'll win both the home games. Oh, yeah, that was the other.
Northern Illinois beat the Power 5 team.
That was the side freak out of the weekend. Yeah, it was like, Northern Illinois beat Boston College, who is notoriously a dumpster fire.
It's true, but
okay, just making sure.
It's a Power 5 road win.
We'll come back. I got some tweets from you guys, a couple texts as well, that we can get to, and then we still have some Matt Rhule to get to. I have a little college football reaction. We got plenty to come still on the Counter Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. But first, a very, very popular half-off deal is back this week. It's September. The calendar has changed. The Zone deal this week is to Vallis Pumpkin Patch, Josh. Vallis Pumpkin Patch. Something fun for all ages. The Barnyard Challenge Course, the Pumpkin Eating Dragon, and 50 other attractions, including 2 new attractions this year, which is free as Egg Spinners and Cousin Lauren's Racing Pigs. Indulge in all of the delicious food like caramel apples, donuts, turkey legs, and more. This week's Zone deal, 2 good anytime passes, which is an $87 value for just $43.99. On sale this Friday, September 8th at 9 o'clock. And a bonus weekend deal goes on sale at noon. That's on Friday the 8th. And you can find our details at 1620thezone.com.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The takeaway here is everything they did is worked.
And it's worked to the point that the attendance is up 8%.
That is bonkers. So, I mean, it's showing itself in every facet of baseball.
It's working.
Working on the field. It's working in attendance. I'm guessing, I'm not a TV ratings guy, but I'm guessing the postseason is going to have an uptick in viewership.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Knoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny skies this afternoon, reaching a high temperature around 90 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, a little bit breezy with our wind switching around from the northwest. Mostly sunny tomorrow and breezy, reaching a high around 81 degrees. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Wow, that happened way too fast. One day you drop them off for their first day of kindergarten, and now they have their driver's license. So stop into Gretna Auto Outlet to find the perfect first set of wheels for your new driver. At Gretna Auto Outlet, you'll find a great selection of quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs with financing available to nearly every buyer. Take a look at GretnaAuto.com or swing by Gretna Auto Outlet just north of Nebraska Crossing on Highway 6 in Gretna, Omaha's next door neighbor.
This cardboard order, is it up to date?
Camila's recyclable coffee cup factory can no longer be considered a grande.
Redesign? It's at the printer.
She needs more designers to jump the business to a triple shot.
Client wants to see several more design options. The logo's got to be bigger.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This cardboard order, is it up to date?
Camila's recyclable coffee cup factory can no longer be considered a grande.
Redesign? It's at the printer.
She needs more designers to jump the business to a triple shot.
Client wants to see several more design options. The logo's got to be bigger.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, here's a good one for from the text line from Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
It's almost impossible to listen to people right now. The world isn't falling after one game. You take away a turnover, and that game played out exactly how Rhule wanted it to. Folks, we knew the offense wasn't talented. The defense and special teams was really good. Nobody was expecting a good team. Have some patience, everybody. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but Aaron, did you see Deion Sanders? They fixed their whole thing in one game.
Beat a ranked team.
They beat the national runners-up from last year. The great here's my deal, and this is what you can take solace in. So we've heard from a lot of people today who are a little bit closer to Aaron, who are like, "Hey, can we just chill out?" And I appreciate that greatly. Really, it's done a lot to ease my mind this week. Although I am fired up in a variety of different ways just for this game. Here's the one thing you could take solace in: the coach is as advertised. In terms of, I mean, I think the football stuff will be as advertised as well over time. But he is as advertised in terms of his demeanor, his mentality. He is even keel, man. He doesn't take the bait when people ask him about Colorado, because he knows about. He talks about his program, talks about what they need to do better, and I get the sense that he's really tired of answering the question of how does this team, how do they feel mentally? Like, this was the question of last year. Like, where is this group at? Can they respond? Coming off of a really, really tough loss. Here is Matt Rhule on his team's mental response to Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think there's any moving on. I mean, there's not at the end of the day, we're going to play each week. There's a great Kobe quote. We're going to come back and do the journey all over again, whether we win or lose. And, we go through the opponent. We go through the last game. So Friday we came in, we got back late. We came in Friday afternoon. We went through the opponents. We went through the game, This is what we did well. This is what we didn't do well. Everything's very methodical and unemotional, because there was a lot of good. It wasn't like one of those, like, hey, we're down by 2 scores. We scored at the end to make it a 1-score game. Like, we had the lead. Unfortunately, we made some catastrophic errors down the stretch, right? And so we learn from those. We eliminate those mistakes. We have a chance to win that game. So that was Friday. Saturday, we gave the guys off. Now I was in here Saturday morning working, and we had a ton of guys in here taking care of their bodies, recovering. It's been a long camp. And then brought them in yesterday, and we started on Colorado. It's a little unique for us as coach. Like, I went home and watched the game on TV because I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, not like you can watch it on tape. There's no. This is the first game, so having a chance to watch the game was good. See the flow of the game, see them in action. And now yesterday we came in here and worked with the guys last night. Today's their off day, and we'll get back to work tomorrow morning.
See that? He just lulled us to sleep.
He really did.
it's Josh wasn't even listening to that entire thing. He just, it's just
drifted in and out.
We came back in, we did our work, and we're going to move on. There's not going to be any emotional decision making in this program, right? And I love that. I think that really plays to your advantage in the long term. That's such a good thing.
No chasing a moving target just because it's what people expect.
Correct. We're confident in the way we do things, and we're just going to keep doing them. We're just going to keep plugging away at this thing. Here is Matt Rhule. Just one more from him, I think, unless there's anything else that I feel like we need to get to. I think there was a lot of good stuff, by the way, from yesterday. He talked here a little bit about the physicality that his team experienced in the Minnesota game, and then what may come of this week, given that, by the way, this is something that hasn't been mentioned really. It's a long week. They have an extra couple days off, right? I mean, that usually plays to football teams' advantages.
Had a couple of prep days.
As Rhule said, he watched the Colorado game live on television on Saturday. I'm sure he enjoyed the product that Fox put out there. Here's Matt Rhule on sort of that idea.
Yeah, again, I'm a kind of an incrementalist. I'm kind of a process guy. So I can say two things and mean them. Like, crushed that we lost the game the way we did for the guys, right? Not for me, for the guys. Upset for them. At the same time, recognizing how much better the football is than early last year. And so I'm proud of that for them. Like, hey, look what practice has gotten you to. Now we have to make, to turn the ball over 4 times and have 2 false starts inside the 5 and versus a Big Ten opponent and have the lead is outrageous, So we have to clean all that up. But also I recognize the things that are better. So my mind is just very simply the way I think you build a program that's built to last. That's not just a flash in the pan. Is you just keep improving the things that aren't good, that aren't improved. So, early in the game, I walked out on the field and I was like, hey guys, they're 4 or 5 right now on third down. It's just about third down. It's not like, are we good? Are we bad? It's just third down, right? And so we got better at third down as the game went on. That Tony adjusted. So, I'd like to see us make those steps in our passing game this week. I'd like to see us make those steps, obviously, in protecting the football this week and taking the ball away. So, but I thought we were really physical. I thought we ran the ball hard, and I thought you couldn't we played 4 or 5, 6 linebackers. We rotated guys in, and there was no he's in, call it differently, right? Javen goes in. Javen's really playing well. Mekhi Bear was unbelievable on special teams. He gets in on defense, and you see him play well, right? And then you're playing MJ, you're playing Chief. So if we can do that as we get into the stretch of Big Ten play, we'll have a bunch of guys that can play and help us that all play to the same standard. This week, we'll just have to be able to do it versus excellent skill, as Sam asked, and then versus tempo.
See what he's doing, man? He's where he was talking about sort of in the middle there, that idea of, no, it's just third down. It's not everything, the sky is falling. And it's the same thing in the positive regard too. It's the same thing in the positive light. He talked about that in the offseason a lot. Mm-hmm. People keep coming up to me like, hey, we got to go to a bowl game this year. It's like, how about you just go lift weights? It's like, hey, we gotta go do this because I have to. Everything means everything. Yes, but how about just go eat some lunch? Go have a salad. That's your coach, and that is what he is trying to train all of his players' brains to doing. And I think he's come a long way in that regard. But I think the next step is training everybody else, the rest of the state. It's like, we're freaking out.
But if we do this, it means we do this and this and this, and that means we do this, and that means we do that.
How about third downs?
No, how
about we get off the field on third down? How about we convert a third down? How about we run this stuff? So I just wanted to make that's where my solace is coming from this week. If you want some peace, if you want to zen out for a couple minutes, listen to Matt Rhule's press conference from yesterday. Very calm. In a world that it doesn't seem so calm.
Rapidly falling apart around us.
A lot of the times.
It's your guy, Connor.
Oh, they're talking about Cole Reagans?
Yeah.
That would be August Pitcher of the Month, Cole Reagans.
That's right.
American League Pitcher of the Month, Cole Reagans.
Soon to be September Pitcher of the Month.
That would be next year's opening day starter, Cole Reagans.
Oh,
maybe. Thank you, Josh, for mentioning that. I appreciate it.
I knew you wanted to get it in, so I found a window.
Was Cole Reagans a winner of the weekend?
I don't know. I do need a fifth.
Interesting. Josh will bring you the winners of the weekend when we return next on 1620 The Zone.
Now live on Twitch, YouTube, and 1620thezone.com.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is always looking to make your game day bigger and better. Cheer on your favorite team this season in front of a 22-foot LED video wall showing up to 8 games at once. TVs are everywhere else you can look with a state-of-the-art audio and video system. Enjoy a big old pizza or award-winning char-buffed wings. There's just no better way to do your game day. Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road. And for takeout at 162nd and Maple.
The NFL is here, and it's all about the sweet offers from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SNAP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code SNAP only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is and has always been locally owned and operated. Now, with 160 employee owners, chances are one of us lives in your neighborhood. We take pride in taking care of you, our customers, and keeping you comfortable all year round. And as always, our technicians don't have sales quotas. When other companies send salespeople, Standard sends qualified technicians. It's just part of.
Carrier, turn to the experts.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, how about some interesting nature facts to get you outdoors? Did you know that Nebraska has more than 70 state parklands, more than 100 species of fish, more than 400 species of birds, and more than 1,500 species of native plants? We do. You need more numbers? Go online to the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. Question for you. Planning to be on the water this season? Great. But remember, wear your life jacket. Keep in mind that most people who drown in boating accidents are not wearing theirs. It's like I tell folks all the time, life jackets, they float, you don't on the water, so why wouldn't you be wearing yours? Please think about that and be safe. I'm Greg Wagner with the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission.
Creighton Sports Update. Creighton's 11th annual Socktoberfest is less than a week away. For just $30, you'll get admission to both women's and men's soccer games, a commemorative glass stein, and more. The party kicks off at Morrison Stadium on Friday, September 8th at 4 p.m. Purchase your ticket package now at gocreighton.com/Socktoberfest 2023.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, so news out of Colorado. By the way, the AP poll will come out in a couple minutes. The news out of Colorado is that Coach Prime announced this morning that, God, I got to go back and watch his press conference from today. I wonder if there was any more fireworks. But he did say that Miles Slusher, who Gus Johnson was calling Miles Slusher, are we to believe Gus Johnson or the rest of the world and common sense?
Gus had a bad weekend.
Yeah, it's getting tough for Gus.
Might have lost a little bit of his fastball there, Gus.
Miles, I believe it to be Slusher, and if not, I owe an apology to Gus, who had a good game and is a transfer from Arkansas, and it's a pretty good player.
Gus Johnson's a transfer from Arkansas?
No, that would be Miles, not Slusher.
I thought he went to Harvard.
He is banged up and won't play this week against Nebraska. So we get a little test of the depth back there. By the way, on Nebraska's side of things, Isaiah Garcia Castaneda tore his ACL. He is out for the season. We haven't even mentioned that. It's got buried in all the rest of the stuff. Yeah.
The whole season.
The whole season for a torn ACL. I know. It's unbelievable, right?
Wow. I thought medicine was picking up.
Send him to get the Germany surgery.
Yeah. Get those stem cells in you, kid.
All right, Josh, which, by the way, stinks because, Nebraska needs playmakers at wide receiver.
Yeah.
He resembles one, and they need bodies at wide receiver. So another man down in that room. And it was one of the team, as Rhule said yesterday, one of the team's better stories. I mean, left the team basically last year and came back, got a second chance, and had been, a pretty steady guy, I think, in the locker room, and now is out for the year. So that kind of stinks for Nebraska. All right, Josh, top 5 winners of the weekend.
Winners of the weekend. We begin with the obvious number 5.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Look, I lied in the last segment when I said I didn't have a number 5. It's not Cole Reagans, but Connor, I would give you 30 seconds on Cole Reagans if you want it.
Well, there's not much to say other than he's been the best pitcher in baseball since July. And there should be a July to end of the season there should be a second half Cy Young, and Cole Reagans would win it. And Cole Reagans has made me very happy in a season full of sadness. Cole Reagans and Bobby Witt Jr.
Spencer Strider would like a word, but he could have the NL second half Cy Young.
The AL, yeah, he's the AL.
Okay,
but I would put him up against just about it. I mean, he doesn't allow hits.
Yeah. It's not even like he doesn't allow. Oh, he just allows a few runs. He doesn't allow any runs.
He's giving up on average of like 2 hits a start.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really great.
Where'd they find this kid?
He's the best. He's having the best like stretch of basically any Royals pitcher that I've ever seen in my life. And I know that seems hard to believe, but if you look, there is a list going around, and Joel Goldberg. Thank you for my 30 seconds, Josh.
No,
I'm gonna
it's
blow
fine.
right through it.
No.
Joel Goldberg tweeted out a list of all of the Royals pitchers who have ever won Pitchers of the Month, just like American League Pitchers of the Month ever. And there's only like 15 of them. And they're all like, so Nebraska, the Royals haven't had a AL Pitcher of the Month since April of 2009. 2009.
When did they go to the World Series and win the World Series? Connor?
2014 and 15.
Oh, interesting. That's neither of those.
Before that, it was Lima time in 2003.
That's right.
Before that, it was Kevin Appier in 1995, and then they had a good run because they had Kevin Appier and David Cohn and Brett Saberhagen.
I was going to say, when do I get to say David Cohn?
And Gubaza. And, and Charlie Liebrandt's in there a couple times as well. But that's the list. So, yeah, I have high hopes for Cole Reagans. Thank you.
Honorable mention for Cole Reagans, number 5, the greatest actor of all time, Denzel Washington.
What did Denzel do?
He had a number 1 movie at the box office, which he's probably tired of.
The box office.
I really didn't have anything for number 5, so Cole Reagans is fine.
Thank you. Cole Reagans.
$42 million for The Equalizer 3. I didn't see it because I was doing Big Red Overreaction with y'all.
Nice.
That's the sacrifices I make for you.
Thank you, Josh.
Number 4.
Maybe I'll see it tonight. It's $5 Tuesday.
Shout out to the movies.
Get some popcorn. Oh, we love popcorn, don't we?
We do.
Number 4, the Duke Blue Devils.
Duke.
A convincing win at home over number 9 Clemson, the Blue Devils' first win over an AP top 10 team in 34 years.
That was pretty cool. It was a good scene last night, a nice little field storming.
Yeah.
That game went suspiciously late. Why did it end at 11?
Why did it take so long?
But yeah, Clemson, big Clemson overreaction last night must have been a pretty rough hang.
Oh, yeah.
Would not have wanted to have been there.
They see the writing on the wall.
No.
Those punk kids wanting, like, returns for their services. Also, AP pullout, Colorado 22.
Are you ready for this? Okay, so there's a couple interesting things in here.
Oh, I only saw Colorado. Please.
So Colorado's in at 22. So Nebraska will go on the road to play a ranked team this week.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? That hasn't been bad before. Not at all. Florida State got 3 number 1 votes.
Oh.
I love college football so much. Because that could just happen. 63 voters out there for the AP poll. 58 of them said Georgia didn't do anything to move off. Smart decision.
Sure.
2 of them said Michigan. Fine. Completely acceptable. And 3 others said Florida State. That's the best team in the country. Did they have the best win of week 1? Yes. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Where they really handled LSU quite convincingly.
Quite easily.
They had the best win of week 1. They got 3 number 1 votes, and they're now a top 5 team. Florida State back, folks.
Are we... Is there a journalist in Athens that's going to ask Kirby, hey, what the hell's going on with you guys driving cars?
The cars are once again in a bad situation in Georgia.
I'm glad someone else sees it.
Oof.
Number 4.
Number 4. Great segue for me, Connor. Thank you, by the way. Mike Norvell.
Yes.
Seminole fans wanted him gone in years 1 and 2. But last year, he won 10 games, including a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Now they kick off year 4 with a dominating win over LSU.
Yeah, they got some dudes, too.
Yeah.
You know? And Jordan Travis, I mean, he's really come along. I mean, he was a good player last year. But, man, he looks pretty steady back there. That is a team. They assume the Clemson spot of the ACC. The Clemson power vacuum has obviously disappeared.
Yes.
I think we thought it was going to be Miami for the longest time. I believe that spot belongs to Florida State. I believe that belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
Very quickly, Connor, if you know this, don't play the game. But do you know the last time Colorado football was ranked?
My guess would be 2016.
December of 2020.
They were ranked in 2020.
That's what I'm told.
Interesting.
Now, granted, at Connor Happer
I don't remember that, Josh.
Nothing that happened in 2020 counts.
Correct. That's a rule on our show.
But apparently Colorado was ranked in 2020. I'll let you ponder that while I tell you.
Let me
about
see how that happened.
The third biggest winner of the weekend.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
Yeah, they did pop in there after starting the season 4-0 and then finishing the season 4-2. As if anything that happened in 2020 matters.
Wait, where are we at? I did Denzel.
I think you should be on
Mike Norvell
2, right?
No, Mike Norvell was 3. Yeah, I should be on 2.
Yeah, it should be 2.
Number 2,
Cole Reagans,
Texas State.
Yeah, see that? That's how you build a program.
First win against a Power 5 team since moving up to the FBS in 2013, and all they had to do was blow it up.
They beat the crap out of Baylor.
Yeah. I tuned in. I said, okay, I'm going to get a very entertaining and close fourth quarter. I did not get that between those two.
Yeah,
teams.
I didn't tune in. I didn't watch this game, but I mean, what an impressive deal by them. What do you think about the initials GJ for a name?
For a human?
Yes. GJ Kinney.
I don't care for it.
Okay.
GJ.
He's
going to get called JG a lot. Or JJ or GG.
GJ. He was in his playing career. He went to that's where I remember him. Tulsa. He was the Tulsa quarterback.
Oh.
He is now the head coach of the Texas State Bobcats. Yes, at 34 years old, and he's transfer portal man.
Interesting.
GJ
leads us to our winner of the weekend. It's apparently not Travis Kelce because he hyperextended his knee and is being evaluated.
Ouchie.
Make it so, number one.
Number one.
Not good for those of us that over the weekend placed a bet on Travis Kelce to be the first touchdown scorer for the Chiefs.
You already placed that bet?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not going back over to Iowa before Thursday. Chiefs play on Thursday. People forget. Number one. Now, I'll pull the curtain open here for everyone. I was going to troll the fan base and have like 5 Colorado things as the top 5 winners of the weekend.
Would have been funny. I supported it.
I didn't want that kind of heat. I was scared, quite frankly.
I supported it.
So I had to pick one, and it can't just be Colorado. I went with him. I went with Travis Hunter.
He is him.
I knew Coach Prime knew football. Colorado was too obvious. As much as we made fun of the sandwich or Shedeur Sanders Heisman ticket, like I knew he could play football.
I would still rather have the sandwich for the record.
Still, yes.
He's not going to win the Heisman.
Travis Hunter played 144 snaps.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And that dude is awesome.
11 catches, 119 yards. He had a pick.
Yeah.
Several passes defended. Maybe should have had like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he should have had another pick too.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, he was literally everywhere.
What could have been?
And he didn't seem as if he was getting along very much slower than what what he was at the beginning of the game. That's impressive.
I don't know how sustainable that is for like a year-long thing to have him just be Colorado's Shohei Ohtani.
Well, he's practicing in the altitude. So he's basically Bud Crawfording it. So if they go to Texas, he's like, this is easy. Yeah, that's well deserving. Can't wait till Travis Hunter gets his plaque in the mail.
When we buy stamps. Haven't done that yet.
Thank you, Josh.
They're stacking up. Thank you, Connor.
Once again, Colorado number 22 in the AP poll. Nebraska visits on Saturday. Nebraska's last game on the road against an AP top 25 team.
Ooh.
Is this true? So Nebraska didn't play. Nebraska didn't play a ranked team in. That cannot be right. Yeah, no. The list that John put out, is that one, is that old or does he have 2? Oh, there they are. I'm sorry.
At 2022.
There you go.
At Michigan.
There you go. At Michigan.
Last year.
Last non-con game against an AP top 25 team. I would have to go back for that.
2021 at Oklahoma, right?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, that's easy enough. Easy. Thank you, Colorado, for being ranked. We appreciate it.
Before that, it would have been 2016 Oregon.
2016 Oregon, that was a home game.
Oh.
Right.
Then when did Nebraska go out to Oregon? 15?
They went out to Oregon in 17.
17.
I don't think they were ranked, though.
No, it's not on this list.
I'm thinking probably UCLA 2012 if they were ranked that year. I'm not even sure about that. I know Nebraska was. That was the Jonathan Franklin swing pass game where Will Compton was super slow. By the way, congrats to Will Compton on his career.
Congratulations. You finally decided that making money is better than harvesting your body.
We'll be back. We have some college football reaction overreaction.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
And only one of the topics includes Colorado. Next on 1620 The Zone.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. Football season is here. You'll be going to games and you want to see all of the action on the football field. Kugler Vision can help you ditch the glasses or ditch the contacts for good. Visit them online at KuglerVision.com.
Your future vehicle is waiting for you at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Your dream of a top-notch experience and place to purchase with confidence, 119th and I is your destination. Shop first at Woodhouse Buick GMC and you'll find out quickly they truly have something for everyone. Passenger vehicles, SUVs, and trucks. Plus, envision yourself in a 23 GMC Acadia, Sierra 1500, or Buick Encore GX. Right now, great deals off MSRP or on a lease. See dealer for details. Let Woodhouse Buick help you find your next vehicle today in person, 119th and I, or online at any time at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
Start your engines.
Joe's Indoor Karting in Council Bluffs is off the charts crazy. Joe's Karting is fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing action at over 40 miles per hour. The only speed restriction on these karts is how good you are. Joe's Karting is located just a couple of blocks north of Bass Pro Shop and directly east of AMC Theater in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Go watch a movie. Come race at Joe's. Planning a bachelor party, graduation party, or just a night out with friends? Go to Joe's. Remember, Joe's Karting is your place to race.
Cox Internet has so much to offer, we had to bring in an auctioneer to fit it all in 30 seconds.
Up next, Cox Internet with speeds that match all your needs. No annual contract, equipment included, services up and running the day you move in, all at our everyday low price. Going once, going twice. Sold to those who sign up today.
Wow, that's fast.
So's Cox Internet.
Learn more at cox.com/internet. No annual contract means no minimum term period requirement and no early termination fees. Restrictions apply.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/zone and kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF. NFL Sunday Ticket offer ends 9/18/23. No refunds. Terms and embargoes apply. $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket, not YouTube TV. YouTube TV base plan required to watch YouTube TV. Redemption requires a Google account and current form of payment. Commercial use excluded. Subscription renews. Cancel anytime.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
All eyes are on the Omaha Metro as the National High School Football Game of the Week comes to town on September 8th. Bellevue West battles Westside High School in what could be Nebraska's Game of the Year. You can't be in the stands. Catch all the action streaming live on Huddle at 7 p.m. All proceeds from the stream benefit the schools. To watch, visit Huddle. That's HUDL.com/must-see. Again, visit Huddle. That's HUDL.com/must-see.
Hey, so not to check in on the panic meter too much, but Chiefs fans, how you feeling?
No disrespect to the Chiefs.
Nope. No disrespect, but You're not going to have Chris Jones. You probably aren't going to have Travis Kelce, according to the latest reporting, as he hyperextended his knee today in practice. You're already without, I think, Kadarius Toney, and then who's always hurt, and then L'Jarius Sneed, I think, is out as well. So you're without a whole litany of top dudes who aren't named Patrick Mahomes for this Thursday night game against the Detroit Lions, the upstart America's team, Detroit Lions.
No, man, we got Patty at the Q.
You got Noah Gray and Sky Moore.
We got it's banner night. It's the Lions, brah. Like, we just need some TikTok dances on the sidelines. We're gonna be good, man. We're gonna be good. It's Patty.
Like, they do have Patrick. I wonder if there might be some interested parties in Detroit Lions plus 6.5, or now Detroit Lions plus 6, Josh.
Oh, it has moved.
Mm-hmm. Travis Kelce's worth a half a point.
Little swing.
A full point in my heart. Let's do a little college football reaction overreaction.
Oh,
this is non-Colorado, non-Nebraska edition, even though Colorado will probably make an appearance in here at some point.
Sure.
We usually do this for NFL. We will debut it, by the way. It'll be back for the 2023 season 1 week from today. We'll overreact to things that happened in the NFL in week 1. Very excited for that.
That Packers-Bears game, I'm penciling that in for a reaction overreaction. That Bills-Jets game, reaction overreaction.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Somebody who's not supposed to lose is going to lose. It's going to be great. Josh, traditionally, you asked me the questions.
I read them.
Will you continue the tradition?
Iowa has figured out the offensive formula.
Overreaction, Josh. And I don't know many people who are saying that anyway. Here's the problem. I do think they have a much more capable quarterback this year, which is a good thing,
without a doubt.
However, their pass catchers are still a question, and the main part of what makes offenses good, usually, unless you were the high-flying Colorado Buffaloes, is you got to be able to run the football. They haven't been for the last couple of years. How does 36 carries for 88 yards for 2.4 yards per carry sit with you against Utah State?
Not good. Utah State was a really bad defense last year.
Coming off of a year where the offensive line was already a major question, and there was some more concerns going into this year. That does not sit well with me. I think they have a quarterback. I'm concerned about basically everything else on offense. The drive to 325 for Brian Ferentz. I did appreciate the Sickos Yodeler. That was fantastic.
Oh, great bit.
Really, really good. But it might be tight with that first game. Might be pretty tight with them. So I don't know if they figured out an offensive formula. I think part of their offensive formula has to be running the football well. And that is an ugly number against Utah State. Ugly. Next.
Clemson is done.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by done. But obviously, this is a very, very different thing than it was 3 years ago. I mean, I think one of the things that they thought they would always have, and they always have had, were they. I shouldn't say, well, close to always. I mean, under Dabo, they've always got the quarterback right. Are we sure about this Klubnik?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
I'm not sure he's any good. But really, it goes for everywhere. They just don't have as many dudes as they sort of used to have. It doesn't look the same anymore.
Who would go play for Dabo at this point? A certain type of gritty gym rat.
Not anybody from the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And not anybody who's looking for an NIL deal, apparently.
Like, who's going to go sign me up?
Well, there was always going to be a regression for this program, I think. But, yeah, it's become very, very obvious now. They do not look anywhere near what they looked like a couple of years ago when there was a team that was perennially, fighting for a playoff spot. Does all that get smoothed over maybe with one really good quarterback? Maybe it does. You've had a great run of quarterbacks, but the last two have been kind of duds. And even though DJU goes out on Sunday after the Rutgers game, and he looks pretty good against San Jose State. Uiagalelei.
2 weeks from now, they got Casey Thompson.
Oh, do they?
Coming to town.
Interesting. Maybe he'll go wild, and maybe we'll have that whole conversation again.
And then Florida State.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik's not the guy.
Doesn't seem like it.
I don't know who else might be the guy there, but that doesn't seem like a very good answer.
Number 3.
Okay,
fine. One Colorado thing.
Damn it.
The Heisman is chilling at him's crib right now. Him being Travis Hunter, of course.
So I've seen a lot of this conversation about Travis Hunter and the Heisman today because I think Coach Prime really just spoke it into existence on Saturday. He's not going to win the Heisman. He is really, really good. He is really, really good.
Very, very good.
His odds are sitting, even with that, and the Colorado hype may be as high as it's ever going to get right now. Maybe they beat Nebraska this weekend and it gets even pumped up even more. It's about as good as it's ever going to be. He's currently plus 6,000. Shedeur Sanders is just a hair better. Those guys aren't going to win the Heisman simply because those guys don't win the Heisman. But man, he's a good player and he's super fun to watch. And I was impressed by Shedeur Sanders as well. Still don't want the Heisman ticket. Still would like a sandwich.
Had so many good sandwiches.
And by the way, if you're at the point where you can still get a sandwich for $10, you better take that deal. Sandwiches are now very expensive.
Tell me where you get a sandwich for that price.
Yeah, you can't.
Because I'd like to know.
But no, this is an overreaction. But I did really like watching him play. And I really appreciated Coach Prime's statement before halftime of trying to tell us that he would have already the Heisman locked up had he caught those couple touchdowns.
One half of football.
Amazing stuff.
Florida State has arrived.
Yes, they have. This is a reaction.
I think I agree with this.
It was a real life butt kicking of LSU. They look like the new Clemson to me, like I said. And I think there was the thought that Miami is supposed to take that spot, and it looks like Florida State. And they've developed this thing. This is a very, very good look for that program. LSU was sort of a trendy college football playoff pick this year. I saw some people picking Clemson too. Yeah, Florida State has a real chance to get there. They take that spot as the team who could simply just by their schedule go undefeated in the ACC.
Colin Cowherd had LSU in the college football playoff.
Interesting.
Just saying.
Interesting. Florida State will get Southern Miss, Boston College, go to Clemson, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Duke, Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, Miami, North Alabama. That would be Noah Walters, North Alabama.
Yeah.
And Florida in the final week of the regular season.
Watch out for them Devils now.
So this is, they could run through that.
Seems that way.
They could run through that.
It's all their goals are still in front of them, as the coaches love to say.
Yep. They control their own destiny.
Oh, yeah. Finally, who had the most impressive week one in the Big Ten?
Oh, okay.
An open-ended question.
Thank you. So not really a reaction, overreaction.
No.
So let's just do a little process of elimination.
Okay.
So if we're doing, this is in the spirit of reaction and overreaction, right? The general consensus response to the following teams was what? Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State.
Meh.
Yeah, right?
Ohio State.
They all won, but it was mildly uncomfortable for a while.
What's up with that quarterback, Ohio State?
Purdue lost to Fresno State.
Yep.
Illinois just about lost to Toledo, if not for a hurl of a throw by their new quarterback. Wisconsin struggled with Buffalo. Iowa struggled with Utah State.
Nebraska
lost. Minnesota won. I didn't think they looked.
Neither team looked good.
Completely impressive in those games. So here's what you have left. Rutgers.
That doesn't feel like the answer.
Okay. Maryland beat Towson like 38-6.
I'm going to ask a bad. Is Towson an FBS?
No.
Okay.
Nope, they are not.
Okay.
And Michigan State beat Central Michigan.
Almost by default, the answer for me is Sparty.
Here's the point. Nobody has made it through unscathed. Nobody is, even though there's a lot of 1-0s, and I know everybody's touting the Pac-12's undefeated record this week.
Pac-12 didn't lose a football game.
No, Pac-12 didn't lose a football game. Pac-12 is the best conference in the face of the earth.
Time to blow it up.
Yeah, exactly. They're all going to different conferences next year. But so we're really going to do this thing where we're overreacting to week one. And, if we're applying the same logic that I hear from Nebraska and, as they're sort of approaching the Colorado game, what does that mean for Ohio State? Does this mean their offense just stinks and they just stink now?
No,
because they only beat Indiana by 20.
They ran the ball very well.
Michigan, you know what Michigan did?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm in a big football and 60 thing tonight.
So let me read you.
Did Jim Harbaugh die, by the way?
Jim Harbaugh has passed, yes.
4. Hold him up. 4.
You would think that Michigan they could just run it against East Carolina and they would have no problem doing so.
Well, Connor, they didn't have their coach.
Their quarterback went 26 of 30 for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's incredibly efficient.
Yeah.
They ran 31 carries for 122 yards. That's under 4 yards per carry against East Carolina. Donovan Edwards, an all-conference caliber running back, ran 12 carries for 37 yards.
What?
All right. So
how'd they only score that many points, though? I didn't watch the game. I don't know.
So I'm just saying. If you're doing it for one, you got to do it for everybody. All right. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's a little Big Ten reaction, or I guess everybody reaction, overreaction. Let's see. What's this? USC and LSU are going to play each other in Vegas next year?
In a football game or a basketball game?
In a football kickoff classic.
Oh, that's a good kickoff classic.
That's kind of cool.
I like that.
I'd rock and roll with that.
Yeah.
All right. I have some highlights from you from the Colorado press conference.
Oh, great.
When we return on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on The Crossover.
I'm in for maximum stupid because it appears as if the people that run college athletics are also into maximum stupid.
That's just the Pac-12 commissioner. That guy screwed this whole thing.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
He's a huge
Both
idiot.
of the guys were idiots. Larry Scott and now Kliavkoff.
It's amazing how he's worse than Larry Scott.
Yeah, how he just let these teams all right, see you later.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from Canoyer Garden Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny skies this afternoon, reaching a high temperature around 90 degrees. Mostly clear overnight, a little bit breezy with our wind switching around from the northwest. Mostly sunny tomorrow and breezy, reaching a high around 81 degrees. I'm meteorologist Luke Vickery, KETV Newswatch 7.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists. Doesn't matter where you get your pre-approval. As a consumer, you have lots of choices when it comes to getting a mortgage pre-approval. You can go online or a mortgage professional like Mortgage Specialists. However, not every lender is the same. Online processing tools can pre-approve you in minutes, but it's more likely very inaccurate. We recommend that prospective buyers get pre-approved by a local lender. When you work with reputable local lenders, the pre-approval means what it means. You get a real evaluation of what you can borrow, and you and your real estate agent can have peace of mind through the entire process. Find out about pre-approvals and more when you subscribe to Mortgage Matters in Minutes on our YouTube channel. Just search Mortgage Specialists LLC. Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey everyone, Josh Peterson here for my friends at Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis. Football season is back, and that means the return of the Monday Night Football League inside of the Top Tracer building. This league is filling up fast, so head to their website today, miraclehillgolf.com/store, and get signed up for the Fall Top Tracer League coming up on Monday nights. Also, give them a call, 402-498-0220 to book your tee times today. They're located just north of Dodge on 120th Street, Miracle Hill Golf and Tennis.
Whether you are looking for your first new vehicle or looking to upgrade, make sure you visit Woodhouse Chevy in Omaha and Missouri Valley. The all-new Trax features both affordability and technology with prices starting at under $22,000. And coming soon, the all-new bold, aggressive look of the Chevy Traverse. See our entire selection at woodhouse.com and schedule a test drive at your convenience. Find a new vehicle that exceeds your expectations and find new roads to Woodhouse Chevy. Exit 75 off I-29 Missouri Valley or 112th and Dodge in Omaha. And always at your fingertips at woodhouse.com.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Get a full breakdown of what went right and what went wrong immediately after every Nebraska game with Big Red Overreaction, presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by Coors Light, keeping Nebraska chill. Also brought to you by Chase Senate Contracting, Tinman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and Rotella's Italian Bakery. Immediately after the game, join the show and sound off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Big Red Overreaction with the Keg and 1620 The Zone.
There's already a lot of conversation this week, obviously, about this game.
Colorado, yeah, Texas, Alabama's a big one.
Yeah, nobody cares about it anymore. It's all about Colorado. Dave Mason of BetOnline.
Hi, Dave.
Gambling analyst, I suppose. He says, I'll be shocked if Saturday's Colorado-Nebraska game is not the biggest bet college football regular season game in the history of BetOnline.
Whoa.
There is now more cash on Colorado's spread than the spread for all 32 NFL teams.
What?
Like, is that true? Is that now this is just on BetOnline.
Sure.
There is now more cash on Colorado's spread than the spread for so what he said, I believe this is right. Not all the NFL teams combined. I think he's saying if you put Colorado in the NFL, they would be the most bet team in the NFL, right? Like they're more bet than any team, any specific team, any individual team in the NFL for this weekend.
That makes more sense than what I was thinking.
Correct. I had to sound that one out, but I think I got there.
Don't mind us, folks. Just a couple of dum-dums on the radio.
I think we got there.
Talking into microphones.
So, I mean, this is great. If you ever wanted a us against the world thing, like this is it. This is fantastic. Seeing some.
But like both teams can both do the us against the world
Not
thing.
really. Everybody loves Colorado now.
Do they?
They're number 22 in the country.
I guess. Getting a lot of flowers today for sure.
No doubt. This is the greatest sports story of all time, Josh.
I think Coach Prime's going to go in that locker room, though, and Georgia them. Like, hey, nobody believes in you.
Probably.
Just like Georgia. Nobody believed in Georgia.
They'll say whatever they say. This is something that happened during their press conference. Shedeur Sanders has spoken this afternoon.
Oh, good. He had a good game. Very accurate.
He said that Tom Brady texted him.
Is that legal?
Yes.
Okay.
Tom Brady's just a man now.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady texted him and said, "Don't be satisfied."
Oh, what a Tom Brady line.
Shedeur also said, at Colorado, we don't like Nebraska. Simple as that. It was asked sort of about the history of the game. And basically it's like, I don't care if we know the history or not. We don't like Nebraska. That's just how it goes. I love this.
That's the gist of it.
This is my favorite week of all time.
We're all in.
I am. And in case you couldn't tell, I'm doubling down. I just think the clash of styles is going to be pretty evident.
I think it's going to be a fun week. I think it is possible that it might not be a fun weekend, but there's going to be some talk this week.
Maybe. And Nebraska won't feel that fire. I mean, Nebraska fans will.
Yes.
But the University of Nebraska certainly won't.
There was a come to Jesus meeting. Hey, nobody say anything to anyone.
Maybe, but I think that's, if there wasn't, it's a pretty good example of what Rhule is trying to sort of get across, the point he's trying to get across. Like, hey, we're just going to do our job every single day.
I'm sure he did not have to expressly say
maybe
to the players.
Yeah. But don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Now, I don't know if that was said to the Colorado players before this week. So I'm curious to see what else comes out of that direction. Poll questions. Tell you what to watch on the other side. Oh, good question from Brian, though, before we take a break.
Hi, Brian.
Why the F does Tom Brady have Shedeur Sanders' cell phone number?
Actually, Terrence on the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah.
Sanders, the quarterback, has been working with Tom Brady, so a text conversation is not out of the norm.
There you go. Thank you, Terrence. There's your answer, Brian.
Yeah, Tom talked about it today on the I'm blanking on the stupid name of his stupid podcast with Jim Gray and Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh God. Yeah. The boring podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Let's Go. I was gonna say Get Up, but I know it's not Get Up.
Same thing.
It's same generic title.
Poll questions. Tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
Omaha's most listened to all sports radio station. Again and again and again. 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Smith for Ted and Wally's 2 locations in Benson and the Old Market. It's not just about getting a cone or maybe a couple of scoops. Call ahead and get your refrigerator, freezer filled with Ted and Wally's ice cream. We're talking about getting quarts or half gallons. All you have to do is call ahead and tell them that's what you want. Over 3,000 flavors, so whatever you're looking for, they have it. And if you have some special needs, if you're lactose intolerant or you're worried about keto, they'll help you as well. Over 3,000 flavors, 2 locations. Tell them Severe sent you.
Gear up for the All-European Show and Shine. Sunday, September 10th from noon to 3 p.m. at Lauritsen Gardens, featuring fine vintage and modern cars from across the pond. See the best European makes and models, including BMW, Mercedes, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, Lotus, and more, staged among the beauty of the fall garden. The All-European Show and Shine. September 10th at Lauritsen Gardens, located at 100 Bancroft Street or online at lauritsen.gardens.org.
Wow, that happened way too fast. One day you drop them off for their first day of kindergarten, and now they have their driver's license. So stop into Gretna Auto Outlet to find the perfect first set of wheels for your new driver. At Gretna Auto Outlet, you'll find a great selection of quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs with financing available to nearly every buyer. Take a look at GretnaAuto.com or swing by Gretna Auto Outlet just north of Nebraska Crossing on Highway 6 in Gretna, Omaha's next door neighbor.
Hi, everybody. Kent Pavelka here to talk about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked or uneven concrete, Everlevel can do it all with their complete repair solutions. They fix cracks, lift sunken slabs, and protect the surface, all at a fraction of the price compared to replacement. And better yet, they offer long-term transferable warranties. I'm so glad I chose Everlevel for my driveway. Give them a call for your free inspection. That's Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Here's today's Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Husker football head coach Matt Rhule announced that Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda tore his ACL against Minnesota and that the team will need some skill position players to step up.
It's kind of all hands on deck. It'll be those young guys. We got Jalen in, got him on the reverse. Hoping Malachi, can help us. Obviously, we'll have Marcus now back full time. It'll just kind of be all hands on deck. We'll use all those guys.
Rhule said he wasn't surprised about their upcoming opponent, Colorado's performance against TCU, and has a tremendous amount of respect for their head coach, Deion Sanders.
He's won in everything he's done in football. He's won as a player. He's won as a coach. I think everyone maybe thinks like outside, not me. Everyone else thinks like, well, this is all a show, and that he's the most serious person about football. Like, his poster was on people's walls for a reason as a player, because he's one of the hardest practicing, hardest playing people that's ever played the game, right? So why would we think that his team wouldn't be the same?
For The Zone, I'm Matt McMaster.
The Husker Max Practice Report, brought to you by Tickets for Less on 1180 and 1620 The Zone.
Attention all you Husker football fans. This season, get ready to cheer on your Huskers like never before. Tickets for Less is offering an exclusive deal that'll have you jumping out of your seat. Use the promo code THEZONE and save big on Husker tickets for every game, home and away. From the electrifying home opener to intense conference matchups, Tickets for Less has you covered. Don't miss a single moment of the gridiron action. Visit ticketsforless.com today. Use promo code THEZONE and secure your seat to witness the Huskers live on the field this season. Hurry, this offer won't last forever.
All right, we'll make this quick. Poll questions, of which there was just one today. I said to Josh during the previous break, I feel like I've been talking too much today. I have been.
You were talking everybody off the ledge. You're telling everybody it's okay. It's all right.
I guess.
Didn't leave a lot of room for shenanigans.
The poll question was this: is a guy splitting his pants funny 100% of the time?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so too.
I won't debate this with anyone.
82% say yes. Josh, what are we watching tonight?
We've got some baseball on the TV. Not much of it, though. Giants Cubs, 6 o'clock on TBS. And then on MLB Network tonight at 8:30, Phillies Padres. We have tennis.
We do.
All day today.
The US Open.
On the ESPN family of networks. Men's quarterfinals today. 3 Americans in action on the men's side, one of whom is going against Novak Djokovic.
Yeah,
tonight.
his name is Fritz.
That's right now, right?
Yeah, he's losing.
Sure. I mean, that's going to happen. But 2 Americans play each other in another quarterfinal today. So we know we got one.
USA.
In the women's quarterfinals, Coco Gauff has played and won already.
Let's go, Coco.
So she is in the semifinals. She's the first American teenager to make the semifinals since Serena Williams in 2001. Been a minute. Connor, we go to the CW, 7 o'clock tonight.
Pac-12 football?
No.
Oh.
Inside the NFL, season 47. It's 46 or 47. I found conflicting data on that. Premieres with a preview of the upcoming season and a new cast. Ryan Clark hosts alongside Smokin' Jay Cutler.
Nice.
Chad Johnson and Ryan Long.
What a group.
Not the yeah. None of them sounds like a host, but I'll tune in.
All 4 of them together, that may be a host.
Yeah. And tonight, 9 o'clock on HBO, training camp comes to a close for the New York Jets on Hard Knocks. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think I'm 3 behind.
And I don't plan on watching this one either.
I do want to say this about TV. I caught up with Winning Time, a show that we have previously mentioned, and it's kind of sliding off for us a little bit.
Yeah.
Sunday night's episode was good.
I heard the end result of what happened, and
yeah,
I am intrigued.
Sunday night's episode was good.
Okay.
So it's kind of back, at least for the moment.
We got to that thing we were wanting to get to.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching tonight, and that is the show. If you missed anything, you can find it at 1620thezone.com. The crossover is next.
Let It Fly Sports Bar is now open in the Capital District in downtown